5-4 free weight.
Welcome everybody. Halfway highlights of the Pro Chess Leagues, the 4th edition, with your hosts Levi and Bigfoot. This is a very exciting week in Pro Chess League because yesterday we had the very first edition of the Battle Royale, which, not to be confused with Fortnite, very coincidentally named the same thing.
I think they stole it from chess.com, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think Fortnite is going to have a lawsuit on their hands, potentially, Epic Games, so you better watch out. But Battle Royale in the Pro Chess League is when you combine teams from various divisions, namely the Atlantic and Pacific, the Eastern and the Central, into a group of 8, and all the boards play each other. So it's basically a round robin of all the best players kind of lined up. And the difference is that normally you play against one team, and everybody plays everybody, etc., etc. Now it's a totally different story. So yesterday we had 2 of these Royales. We're going to look at the couple of games and amazing moments from the first one. Vic, I don't know about you, but the first one could have been like a group at a super tournament. I think Caruana, Nakamura. I don't know if
it's very impressive that even though he plays Gibraltar, I think a lot of them are even playing during this tournament. I see Daniel played, we have Salam played, Caruana played, Mamedyarov played, Hikaru played. It could be Gibraltar to Bordeaux.
Yeah, it's like basically I think the average rating of the first Royale on board 1 was something like 2670. The lineup was Jeffries Young, Sergei Movsesian, Eduardo Iturizaga, Fidel Corrales, who was 2539, lowest in the group, but actually ended up scoring like 4 points and had a ridiculous performance. Salem Saleh, Caruana, Shanklin, Nakamura. So the average rating of board 1 there was 2680. I mean, ELO, which is, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And it's actually disgusting.
The first game up on our... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, the thing is that... the thing that made this more interesting is that it wasn't the 10-2 time control that we usually had. We had something more exciting and faster.
Well, no, it wasn't 15-2. It was 10-2. So 10-2, yeah. And 10-2 makes things a lot more fun. And it really didn't disappoint. So we will show you the big picture of the standings. It's very kind of congested, but if you hang with us while we explain, it's actually not so easy. Not so difficult. Those are 2 very different things. Group 1, we had teams like Minnesota, Dallas, St. Louis, Seattle, San Francisco, and Miami from the United States, and they featured 2 teams internationally. That would be Montreal and London. Those are not necessarily the 2 most ridiculous cities in the world, but like far out or anything like that. But then those cities were featured in Group 2. Chengdu, from obviously it's a very powerful Chinese team. They were in the Final 4 last year. And Australia Kangaroos. And Kangaroos are a scary team with a very scary board 1. That's Alexei Sarana. But they finished 5th. And you see that the champions of the groups were Minnesota and Dallas, 18-18. And Webster was the winner in Group 2 with 17.5. Now, before we jump into the games, it's important to note, what does Royale even mean for the standings? So if you win the Royale, you get 24 points for the standings, and your total score that you scored gets added to your standings as well. So Minnesota, a better example is Webster. Webster scored 24 points plus 17.5, which vaulted them up to, I think, 1st or 2nd after being in 5th. New York went from 2nd to 5th, not even in the playoffs anymore. So it's a crazy, crazy week, and it allows a lot of jumping around and everything. So why don't we jump into to the games?
Let's go to the games, yeah. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do 1 hour of commentary looking at these beautiful games, and we're bringing you through what happened on this crazy day yesterday. And after that, we're going to have a 2-hour fan Prix, where you can... the winner over the weeks will win 3 years of Diamond membership. Second place will 2 years. Third place 1 year. And if you're streaming it, you can get 5 gifted subs from chess.com. So definitely stick around even after we look at these games.
And you can get involved with exclamation point tournament. That tournament will begin promptly in 50 minutes. We already have one person, Estrella Roja. That's Red Star. I don't know if there's a team somewhere in the world named Red Star, but Red Star it is. So picking up in the first Royale, the last round, Mr. Fabiano Caruana with the black pieces. Some of you might have heard of him, and well, I mean, if you haven't, then I'm not even going to explain who he is, just to maximally confuse you. He's the board 1 for St. Louis Archbishops, and in his side job, he is a challenger for the World Championship. He's playing with the black pieces against Arabic Falcon. That's the board 1 for the Chessbras, Salem Saleh.
Yes. Who recently got added, by the way. It was just for this beautiful Battle Royale he got added. So they really stacked up the team.
Yeah, they have
some heavy play.
Quite a ridiculous roster. So I think we'll pick things up right around here. In the middle game, it was a kind of an offbeat QGD.
Mm-hmm.
And very common idea to play against this isolated pawn is just to blockade it, and obviously Salah has done that by putting the knight on d4. This queen is always safe from anything with the rook on c8. I mean, if black ever puts the knight on e4, it's relatively easy to kind of thwart this plan with just a simple move like bishop f3, and now rook d8. So Salah was just calmly developing his pieces, and then there was this reroute here by Fabiano that kind of gave white a target, and he played a4. And of course, a very good way to target knights on b6, b3. You know, I think we've had this maybe once a week at this point, is with this flank pawn attack. And queen g5, which threatens the move bishop takes h3, is actually just a blunder. And for the second week in a row, Fabiano Caruana, playing black in the final round of his match, loses in like crushing fashion. Here to knight takes e6, pawn takes, and chasing after this with the bishop, and suddenly a huge problem. 2 threats, 1 and 2, and it's really difficult to stop. So here he played rook c6 and simply said, okay, I'm just going to be a piece down and maybe I'll hold this, but Salah converted very effortlessly. Now, I remember looking at this and going, well, why did he play rook c6? I mean, why didn't he just play a move like queen f6? The problem is that this a-pawn attack has just never been stopped, and after a5 you realize very quickly that black is in all sorts of trouble here. For instance, knight c4 is answered with a stunning tactic. Knight takes d5, and black's entire position collapses. If e takes d5, you realize the whole point of having the bishop here, and if you delay this with rook takes d5, well, you still get to realize the full point of the bishop here, because rook takes d5, and the bishop on g4 is just incredibly strong. It completely wrecks the position for black, and Fabi just went down. I mean, I'm not quite sure what he blundered. He blundered something also like in one move against Ivan Saric last week. He obviously didn't have to play queen g5, but obviously a4 is already very problematic for black. I think the engine here...
Well, I think he just saw the ghost. Like, he thought queen g5, it's a very nice attack, looking at h3. Didn't work out in theory. Usually you can stop these kind of pawn pushes by, let's say, a6 or a5. But because your c-pawn is missing, the knight is hanging, so there's not an option as well. We could just say that Caruana is very consistent in these kind of formats. The last one.
He's okay. Consistency is not an issue. Black in the last round, we're gonna lose the game, baby. That's what it's gonna. Now, unfortunately for St. Louis, they ended up being swept in the final round, which is insane. They lost every game. So going into the final round, they had 16.5 points out of 24. They were completely steamrolling. They won 67% of their games. And boom, it disappeared like this, and they landed themselves in 3rd place. Now, obviously, they're still in a commanding playoff spot there in the Atlantic Division. But, I mean, if they even picked up 1 point, right, they've got 17.5 points, they still would have been in clear 3rd. But the more points, the better. And okay, like if they split the match even against the Chessbro channel, they win. They win the whole thing. They get 18.5. But they lost 4-0 in the final round. So that was obviously one big thing. One other thing relevant to the Chessbros, well, we're gonna see Eric Hansen. This is the game Daniel Naroditsky against Eric Hansen. Just really the spotlight here is on Naroditsky more than anything else. He was actually the board 2. I mean, anytime you have narrow on the second board,
board 2. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is pretty ridiculous, but he scored 6 out of 7. I mean, he had like a 2900 performance. Excellent job. And one of the games with this very key victory over Hansen, which led which led the mechanics to only a 5th place finish. They were just they were really up against it. I mean, 6 points. Narrow by himself nearly scored half the points of the team. So
That's incredible. Just 6 out of 7, even for the board 2. I mean, even the board 2 was ridiculously long. It's not like he was the top seed in every game and it was a quick queen slap. This is 2900 performance rating is incredibly impressive. And Daniel is he's an up and downer. You know, sometimes you expect him to really steamroll the whole entire comp, and sometimes he just haven't has his day. So it's good to see him back at the grind.
He definitely had his day yesterday. I mean, now what's kind of interesting is that I love seeing these crazy attacking games in Rapid develop from positions like this. I mean, White has not played. This is not an intimidating opening. I mean, no. You have one pawn on the 4th rank. You got one piece. Every other piece is back here. So it's a very slow opening. Kind of like a you know, what are these like more hyper-modern openings where you control the center with your pieces rather than placing pawns. But
yeah, exactly. It's like a white perch kind of modern kind of setup.
But very quickly he starts advancing, and you start noticing like he goes for the bishop pair, he gets the light squared bishop, and d4, b4. This was kind of an important moment. He plays this knight d2. It looks like he's retreating, but he's defending c4, and he would like to start bringing absolutely all his pawns forward. So Eric Hansen quickly puts a clamp on that with a move like f5. Now, another kind of funny thing to note here is that Eric has 8 light squared pawns. So he's very much feeling the loss of his light squared bishop, but he's doing his best to kind of, you know, put pictures up on the wall, you know, in memory of the poor guy that was traded off. And he's doing this also to support obviously the e4 square and to prevent, you know, the move that would really open the position for White. It would be tremendously beneficial for him to trade off some pawns and have a really strong light squared bishop. So
but what's that knight doing on h5?
Yeah, exactly.
I think he tried to trade off the light square bishop, or the dark square bishops, but he just played d4, Daniel, and after that knight h5 was just hanging there for like a good solid 5 moves.
Yeah, it was just it was a bit of a weird decision to go here, and as you mentioned, I think he did it primarily to trade the bishops. Narrow said no thanks, and this whole thing felt a little bit slow. Here you definitely feel like with this pawn sacrifice that Black is already the one feeling the pressure. I mean, if Black plays a move like c takes b5, Narrow is just very nastily going to play this, and it's very difficult to defend b5, and you kind of feel like you're being pressured in. Now, you know, I'm sure if you plug a lot of these ready positions into the engine, they're going to say like, okay, relatively equal, but it's difficult to play with Black. So in the game we had BC, and Hansen broke in the center, and really here actually felt like he was getting somewhere. I mean, he's got, you know, bishop is biting into nothing, but rook b7, and things got bad very quickly. Even though here it still feels like Black could potentially keep the balance with some dynamic play, maybe like a move like knight c4, get the queen involved somehow, but it's all too hypothetical, and there's no clear plan.
But all Black wants to do actually in this position is to just get that bishop on d4 out of the way and start pushing those center pawns, but he just never had the opportunity because White clearly stated, I'm going to put my bishop on d4, we're not going to trade it off, you're not going to push those center pawns, and I'm just going to start harassing you on the queen side with these rooks.
And I think this led Daniel to sacrificing a piece. So right around here, he said, okay, bishop takes e4. And I'm not so sure if this was a miscalculation or what. I mean, I'm sure that, of course, if rook takes e4, you win on the spot with rook takes g7.
Exactly.
But bishop takes d4, and I guess Daniel thought that here he was getting some compensation. He has 2 pawns, he's threatening queen d5, and of course he has this advanced pawn on the queen side. Now, his intuition paid off. Eric played a couple of strong moves, but the pressure was simply too much for him to bear. Here, I think the computer was very cold-blooded. It wanted Hansen to just take a pawn, but
take the pawn, try to get some mating. Well, the queen is still defending it, so it's not bad.
But it's true, like it would freeze the queen on a7. But rook a8, I guess Eric just simply forgot that the queen can take. It doesn't actually have to move anywhere. Well, I mean, I suppose you didn't forget that because otherwise the queen is trapped. Maybe Hansen thought that Daniel was going to bail with rook g7 or something, and the idea, of course, being that if takes, queen takes a8, and you're just losing because you have all sorts of tricks. but just queen a8, and after queen takes a8, rook b8, suddenly you realize, uh-oh, the pawn's promoting.
He's going pretty fast.
So this is yeah, and rook d8 is a very key move, and this endgame is simply winning for white. And I think here Hansen just resigned. I mean, because Daniel's just up 2 pawns, and this was this was one of Danya's wins to send him to 6 out of 7, undefeated, undisputed, board 2 champion of the world. But mechanics,
undisputed. Yeah, if only you had that title, you could put next to your name.
Yeah, Daniel Naroditsky, grandmaster and board 2 champion. There was a couple of other very interesting games, but of course, in the interest of time, I mean, we can't go through absolutely everyone, but this was a fun one, and we'll fast forward here. This was John Bartholomew playing WIM from China. But which matchup was this? She is not playing for Chengdu, because Chengdu is playing in the division in the second Royale. She was playing in this was also on Twitter. So anything that's on Twitter is going to be in our broadcast, everybody. So John Bartholomew played against...
It's the Minnesota Blizzards.
It's for Dallas Destiny. It's Zhu Jiner. Yes, she's WIM from China. I think it's Jiner Zhao was playing against John Bartholomew. It's a board 4 matchup. A matchup of 2 of the highest rated board 4s. So John Bartholomew 2439 on board 4 is ridiculous, obviously. I mean, he's an international master playing on the 4th board of a team. Yeah. He's an IM with a GM norm, I think.
I mean, that's a very balanced team then. Usually you have those Caruanas and Wesleys on board 1 and 2, and then you have like an unrated 2300 speed that gets crushed 0-4. And this one is just, a very balanced IM GM team. I like the kind of setup that you have then between both of them. That's which strategy is the most winning one, most compelling one?
Well, I don't know. So far the 3 GM lineup had the most success, obviously, and the talented junior on board 4 that has the best solid performance. So, but if we look at the position in front of us, this is where things got very crazy. So obviously John Bartholomew here is down a piece just for 1 pawn. He's down a bishop for a pawn, but his pawns are on d6 and e6. So he's got. He's got a good little situation here. So he plays d7.
Slight compensations, if you could say it.
Queen d6, queen c8. Obviously, the idea here being that the rook is under attack, and you really shouldn't take this because I'm going to make a new queen. So bishop c6, a very nice move, kind of gluing the position together. The queen is under attack, but d8 is protected. This is protected. This is protected.
So you think that the attack is over?
You think that the attack is over. Now Bartholomew here goes for a swing, but I think he overlooked a tactical continuation here. Now, according to the computer, the best move here was rook c1 to just put pressure on the bishop, and now I think it's just perpetual check after queen d4, king h1, bishop check, king takes. And the king and the queen are very distant, but it's impossible to escape.
Exactly. You're just gonna keep him in this little box here, and there's nothing he can do.
All right. So if queen d4, like king f1, queen d3, king e1, queen e3, there's just absolutely just board geometry. There's nowhere for the king to go. The king is always stuck. John went for d8 queen, and I think he had calculated that if rook takes queen, you play queen takes queen. If queen takes queen, you play queen takes bishop.
Yeah.
Which is probably still about equal because of the activity of the queen. But I think he forgot that after check, king h1, he's lost because there's all of this stuff here. And after rook takes c8, he was like, uh-oh, I can't take back because of this puzzle rush, discovered check that picks up my queen. And so he played e7. And I guess he thought, well, I'm just flying in here. But he's not. A very slow move here. Queen c2. But a very nice. Difficult threat here. You can also play e8 knight to delay the inevitable.
I love those kind of under promotions.
But unfortunately, just after king h6, there's nothing you can do. And white is just going to win. So e8 knight, there's no checks. This is an unstoppable mate. And in the game we had rook g1. and a picturesque puzzle rush finish. Bishop takes g2.
Oof.
Then we had queen b1 to boomerang back to e4.
And mate on the back rank.
Check here, and the rook flies down to c1. So a beautiful, beautiful win there on the black side of this very complicated King's Indian game. I mean, any King's Indian player knows that you got to get down and dirty like a couple of pigs, or like rolling around in mud.
Exactly.
This one,
that's the way to live life, Levy.
Yes,
that's the way to live life. Just get down and dirty from time to time. Get your hands dirty.
And
only
I think this was a King's.
Sometimes you run into this kind of
yes, it was
all necessities.
Yeah, this was definitely King's Indian, 100%. So a very, very nice win there for the board 4 of the Dallas Destiny. Dallas Destiny, of course, one of the champions. This was a very intriguing matchup because had this gone like a little bit differently, Dallas would have scored half a point less, and Minnesota would have scored half a point more. Meaning, Dallas got a full point for this one. But had they drawn, it would have been much different because Minnesota actually would have been the champion had he held. So it all comes down to these very, very small key decisions late in the game. You miss one check, and it's down the drain from there. So moving on to Group 2, where Webster was the sole champion, scoring 24 points, like I said, plus 17.5 for their match points. Very, very tense, the top 4 here. All separated by just 2 points. That's Webster, Chengdu, San Jose, and Montclair. Webster and Montclair made big pushes in the Atlantic Division. Chengdu and San Jose, as far as I know, just kind of established dominance.
Let's put that to the test. Let's look at the standings.
Yeah,
Chengdu is still the number 1 by far.
93
San Jose,
points.
They're trailing. They're tied with Minnesota Blizzards. Funny enough. So if the Minnesota Blizzards would have won that half a point more, they would have skyrocketed up in the standings.
Yeah, it's very, very close. I think Minnesota is a loser on the tie breaks for whatever reason. And of course, Seattle is just a point and a half out. So it's very close. I mean, Atlantic Division has 5 teams competing for 4 playoff spots, but it looks like Pacific Division has 6 teams competing for 4 playoff spots. Very close. But Chengdu definitely the favorite right now after 4 weeks with a 13-point lead on Australia. The thing is, these battle royales are really good for the teams that are in like 4th and 5th looking in to jump up to the top, but also really good for the 1st and 2nd place teams to say bye and
I know, right?
Fly up there into the standings. So
yeah, but if you look at those standings, you see the bottom 2, they're already done almost. If you look at the Atlantic, London is also a little bit trailing now, but then you have like a 40-point gap.
Right.
In both divisions.
Yes, exactly.
It's pretty slaughterfest.
It's really that. I mean, pretty much if you're in the last place just on a weekly basis and you haven't won a lot of matches, there's a very high chance you don't make a splash in the Royale, and that's kind of what happened. Like London, Pittsburgh, Miami in the Atlantic Division were not very good, and well, they didn't prove anything. They kind of just proved that they weren't very good. But Webster was in 5th place, and Webster said, "Hold up, y'all forgot about us, and now they're in 1st."
We're still here. So,
yeah, I mean, and they're far in 1st. The thing is that these Royales really give you a lot of points. So, speaking of Chengdu and the absolute fabulous stuff going on in Group 2. I think it's important to start with the champions, who were led by Ray Robson, really talented player here from the United States, constant member of the Olympic team. And I'm looking at the game that he played against Demchenko. He had a stunning performance, but this was one of his finest games, I think. Handing the New York board one of his many losses, unfortunately. Demchenko had a rough day, scoring 1 out of 7 on the first board.
Did he win, or were it 2 draws?
2 draws. 2 draws, 5 losses. So Robson started out with a Sicilian classical. This is a Richter Rouser, very aggressive, castling queenside, committing the king before black is even developed. Doesn't really care where he's gonna go. And in a lot of these structures, black kind of consolidates and cocoons.
Yeah, exactly.
In this kind of structure, and awaits what's going to happen. Tries to play b5, b4, uncoil at some moment. But Robson wasn't having any of this, and he kind of immediately went on an attack. It's a very good idea to play king b1 anytime you castle queenside. Rook b8, g4. 92, and right around here, I started getting suspicious of Anton's position. I think h5 was not a very good move. Especially considering he plays this, and now his king will be stuck in the center forever because he has moved both rooks.
Yeah.
So he lacks castling rights. Those of you in the chat that don't know, once you move a rook, you can't put it back and then castle. It's not how it works. There was a moment later in the game he actually brought his rook back to h8, and I went, why is he not castling? Because I never saw that he played rook h5.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he doesn't have the right to castle. Oh.
Well, it's even worse that when you play your rook back and then you forgot you already moved your rook and you try to castle, and you're like, just uncome is blocked. I'm going to pull it in the report again.
Yeah, I really hope that he didn't actually play king here at some point later in the game. I wish it would just override you and would just make you play king f8.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's what you get for trying to castle illegally. I mean, hey, that's how it works in tournaments, right? Touch move, king f8. So
that's true. But yeah, and you can drag all the pieces around all you want. So you don't have to play them, unfortunately.
So from here to the end of the game, like right from here to the end of the game, Robson wins in 10 moves. Materially, he's up a pawn, but in a lot of these Sicilian positions, you just don't quite know. I mean, sometimes black is creative and starts getting counterplay on the queen side. Yeah, with moves like knight d5. And that's actually exactly what happened. He played the knight to d5, but Robson very methodical. f5. Kind of using this pawn as a target, trying to break in. I mean, there is a king literally right there, so obviously f5 does make a lot of sense. Queen b6. And a very surgical move here from Robson. That move is bishop c4. Brings the bishop
I like
back
that a lot.
and
Yeah.
Pressure.
Well, I think it's more of the idea if he plays... Oh, not that. If he plays knight f6 and gets something funky, you always have bishop b3 to also defend these kind of checks incoming. So I like knight d5 also for that, or bishop c4 for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for instance, you make a good point. Like let's say I play like bishop takes c7. You actually can completely avoid this and just play knight c3, and all of a sudden black is the one winning the game.
Exactly.
So if bc, you lose like this because anywhere the king moves, you get mated. If you move the bishop, I'm taking, I'm breaking in. I lost the game like this once when I was about 1800. I remember this game very clearly. I was up 2 pawns against the 2300, and he played like rook b8, knight d5, and pushed the pawn to b4. I was like, what's he doing? He can't check me. And then I lost.
Don't respect it.
And then I lost, and I was like, God. So Robson is not me, and bishop b5. Still really, really trying to accomplish this, but here it just simply doesn't work anymore because first of all, you put the queen in front of the rook, so excuse me, you put the rook in front of the queen.
So it's no longer mate. Yeah.
And he just simplifies everything, puts the knight on e4, and yeah, I mean the king's terrible positioning is just very clear. So a very nice game here by Robson, who finishes it off in style with knight d6 check, knight takes, and queen takes e6.
Queen, yeah.
King f8, and now check. And that's all she wrote, in the words of Hikaru Nakamura. So knight f5 is, of course, rook f5 and just checkmate on the cards. King g8 and some variation where you will be made.
Or you just win the queen on b6, fairly easy.
Yes.
Everything wins here.
Everything is winning. So poor Demchenko was handed just a crushing loss, but Robson, I mean, you can't really argue. He played tremendously. I see people in chat saying I had Robson on my fantasy, so good pick. It was a very good choice.
Good pick. Yeah, he's been very. Do you know his score, by the way? His overall score today?
He's been amazing, actually. Yeah, I can look him up. Let's see how Mr. Robson is doing. This isn't even like the craziest lineup they could have fielded, but Robson in his games, he lost to Sarana yesterday, but I think yesterday he went 1.5. I think he went 5.5 out of 7.
Yeah, it's crazy.
1, 2. Yeah, so he won 3 games. He went 4.5 out of 7. It was very solid. The week before that, he went 4-0. The week before that, he went 2.5. So he's playing quite well. You shared an elevator with Ray Robson. This is a fun memory of yours. Swole
I see
19.
this. Did you prepare your pitch? The elevator pitch with Ray Robson?
Hey, I'm I'm this and this, and he's just like, "What's up, man? I don't know."
Hey, man, I'm Sammy. I'm from that Queen Sack Jasper video. Oh, that's you.
The infamous. So
the infamous.
Robson doing a very nice job. I mean, the second Royale did not have such huge names like Hikaru, Zhang, Shanklin, Fabiano Caruana, but but they had some. I think the biggest name was obviously Shakhriyar Mamedyarov, and Shakhriyar Mamedyarov was playing some absolutely ridiculous chess. I mean, the one game that he lost, though, and moving to this game that he played against Konavets, that's Sam Savion. Mamedyarov was on a mission. And his mission was win every game and win it in fantastic aggressive style. So this game, the fantastic aggressive style was registered, but the win was not. Shakhriyar Mamedyarov started the game with slightly offbeat variation of the QGD, where you allow d takes c4, don't develop this knight, play queen a4 check, and then play e4. So you don't even take, you just go straight for this pin. So Savion played very solidly, got the bishop pair, and retreated all his pieces. And then here, Mr. Shakhriyar Mamedyarov played a stunning move.
Yes.
Bishop takes e6.
Oof. I love these kind of moves. I really love these kind of, because I know these kind of setups, and usually this works. Like 9 out of 10 times this kind of thing works because the king's in the middle, you can push these pawns. While black is not developed, this knight on d7 is actually more of a liability than any defense because it just blocks his bishop from coming out. So you think, very easy, knight c3, d5, and black's lost here. But black had a very nice defensive move that I really loved.
Yeah, black played a very nice defensive game. I think Savion was not surprised by bishop takes e6. I think he kind of had this feeling that when you play Mamedyarov, you sort of are aware that he might go for something like this, and you're going to take your chance, kind of like Kramnik at Tata Steel. Yeah. So, d5 on the board, and now a great move. I think maybe Mamedyarov had anticipated knight b6, but rook b6, very classy move.
Very nice move. This is the move I was talking about. I think this is really the lifesaver in that regard for this position.
So, knight c3, queen e8, and now, of course, you have to retreat. The point is that you couldn't take because knight takes d5 was mate. So, queen c2,
exactly,
and king f7. Now, the thing is that when you defend, there's a very high chance you don't defend perfectly. You're going to defend with some subpar moves, and that's where Mamedyarov will get you. He's going to get you on these subpar defensive resources, and king f7 was not the most perfect move. When you attack, sometimes it's very easy. You just play moves like rook e1 and increase the pressure. So bishop b4, and around here, things started looking a little bit bad for Savion. I mean, he's up a piece, but I mean, you're not. Thing is, like, we made a good point on the broadcast of New York. Like, if you're playing it in a club level, like you're playing like a 1500, and they play like this with white, you go, idiot, sacking all his pieces, no respect, just gonna crush him. But when you play Mamedyarov, it's like, oh my god, he's sacrificing, I'm gonna lose. Because you're just getting
destroyed.
Just like, you have a totally different mindset to the game. So knight f8, a3, which seems a little bit slow. I mean, it seems as though in this position you should be doing something at least a little bit faster.
It's a nice rook lift. The queen is on a nice diagonal, but the king, like this rook on h8, is not participating. You'd think I really like white's position here.
Yeah, I would prefer white. I think if I remember correctly, I was looking at this game earlier. Here, I think Savion had to find like a move. I think it was queen d8, and queen d8 just puts this weird pressure on the d line. And you want white to play de, because after knight e6, there is no more pressure, and the knights might potentially get traded, and that's that. I mean, if I can get this or this, then I'm very happy. If I can get my rook out and my king to g8 castle by hand, I'm good. But because he never played this and he kept these pawns here, Mamedyarov got a pretty nice attacking position ultimately, despite only having a pawn for the piece. But unfortunately, his momentum kind of backfired. He started locking up the position, which didn't end up.
I kind of like that on move. What was it when he played king g8 on move 20, I believe? On move 20, you have king g8. He didn't go for this pawn. I think for the simple reason that he didn't want to activate any more of black's pieces. But why can't he just take the pawn here?
That's
Dirty
actually a
pawn
good
grabber.
question. So queen takes c7. I guess you attack the rook. The rook only has one move. It's rook b7. And like, yeah, what if you just go back?
Why don't you just go back? Because
Or like
I get the idea. You don't want to activate any more
defend
pieces,
them.
but I mean, it's all. It seems all covered. I am confuzzled, my good friend. I am confuzzled.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess he thought that the rook on b6 was bad, and here it could potentially get into the game. I mean, that's literally the only explanation I have. And if d6, like something like this, and
Yeah, exactly.
black gets some, it just looks really strange though to not take the pawn. But well, you know, in Mamedyarov we believe. Again, if it was a club player, whatever. Stupid guy didn't take on c7, but it's Mamedyarov, so he didn't take on c7.
I mean,
no.
it is the god, which has the commentators puzzling how to spell the name, and he's a very good, very solid player that we all know. What was performance in Tata Steel again? Let me check that real quick.
Oh, he had a very rough Tata Steel actually. He lost like 30 points.
He had a very rough. Yeah, I want to see where he ended up.
He had a difficult time over in the Netherlands, but
5 out of 13 with a TPR of 26.61.
But he also had a tough time against Sevian, who converted very nicely. Oftentimes, everybody, when you have a pass pawn, you would like to blockade it, and so the bishop is locking up that area over on d7, and it's impossible to break through here. These pawns create very nice defensive and aggressive ideas. And
Mamedyarov lost 27.3 points, and Kramnik lost 24.5 points. So both of those were the losers that tournament. We can say it like that.
Losers.
Losers.
I didn't mean to. Sorry, Shakh. Sorry.
We love you, Shak.
Speaking of Kramnik, I found it hilarious that on Chess24, the headline is Kramnik quits chess at 43. Like quits? I mean, what a headline! I mean, who edited this piece? This is like one of the best chess players ever in the history of chess existing as a game. The guy is like responsible for a ton of opening ideas, neutralizing Kasparov in a world championship. Not even retires, gracefully departs, quits, walks out on the game. I mean, like,
never to be seen again.
I mean, that's like such a rude way of putting it, in my opinion. And I'm not one for, you know, like PC and all this stuff, but like, my goodness.
Show the man the respect he deserves.
But Mamedyarov, this was the one of the games that he unfortunately wasn't successful in his quest for victory. One of the beautiful plays, beautiful aggressive chess. But one of the big reasons why Montclair finished so high up there, and you know, 1 point could have gone their way more favorably, they would have tied for second. It would have been a three-way tie for second, is because of Sam Sevian's amazing performance on board one. They had a very strong lineup, and of course, anytime you can beat a 2800s is obviously, I mean, it's can't be understated. So great job there.
Very impressive defense. You know, very, very impressive. I don't even think Mamedyarov played this loosely or incorrect. I just think Konovets here just really, really put on the screws for himself and said, all right, I'm going to defend this. I'm going to sit down for it, and I'm going to play the best moves. And that's what he did. The fact that this rook came back into life is just amazing. Just by these little, the little things. I love that.
No, it was a great game. I mean, he survived the pressure. One game I quickly want to also show is Azeri chess, which is Mamedyarov against Demchenko. Unfortunately, Demchenko is going to be another victim.
Yeah,
he had a very, very tough day. But this opening idea, I mean, look at this opening play. So, just kind of a very standard setup, and h6, bishop d2, d6, and queen c1. So, Mamedyarov playing scholastic level chess, queen c1, hoping that the opponent doesn't realize that the h6 pawn is under attack. And, he noticed, king h7,
yeah,
h4. And usually when you play a move like bishop g4, you kind of go, okay, well, he can't play h5. I've controlled it with 3 of my pieces. There's no reason he would play h5. I mean, I've completely shut down that, and there's no point of playing it, h5. So, So it's on the board anyway. And after Demchenko just gobbles it up with bishop takes h5, chat, you have 5 guesses. What did white play in this position? White played a move here that looks utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
something we don't want to see in your home games.
Yeah, this is completely... this is just a complete abomination of a move. It disturbed me to no end. It made Demchenko think like 4 minutes. Half his time went down the drain thinking about this. No one has suggested him. No one suggested the move yet. No.
I don't think I could even suggest.
I mean, I probably would never play this move. If someone gave me 5 guesses, maybe. But other than that,
exactly. King D1 is what. No, I didn't. No, I still don't see.
No, not Rook H4. No.
Oof.
Not Knight G5. The move Knight H2.
Knight H2.
What a move!
Exclamation point.
Plays Knight H2. This is like move of the week. Just he wants to play G4. He just wants to play G4.
That's all he wants. I love that idea.
And yeah, and well, I mean, Demchenko burned all his clock, and then I love how that after G5 he goes back to F3.
Yeah. JK lol. Just a joke. I love that.
Yeah, just unbelievable. I mean, the pressure here is not you know, it's not good enough when the pawn is on G6, but after the pawn moves up to G5, there's significantly more pressure. And the other idea, of course, is that if you don't play G5, white has just a very nasty idea to lock your bishop over on H5 for the rest of the game. Yeah, and no, I mean, his creativity is incredible. I'm not even sure if Knight H2 is necessarily the best move, you know, according to the engine, but like,
psychological. It really puts some pressure.
I mean, dealing with this move over the board is just it's just absurd. And actually, Demchenko did very well. I mean, he sustained the pressure, and there was just one moment later on, right around here, things started getting out of hand. Black is actually completely winning, but this is a very tough position. Look, if I flip it from Black's perspective, and you know you're playing Mamedyarov, you're under tremendous pressure here. This is incredibly challenging, and
yeah.
Bishop D3 takes Rook G8, and here the critical moment. Chat, we're gonna have a guessing game.
Oof.
Queen F5 or Queen G6. Both of those moves do the same thing. They target the rook, they get the queen out of danger. But which one and why?
Why? Exactly. So we're gonna give you the queen move. So this is a 50-50 shot.
Queen F5 or G6. I want to see it. I want to see everybody getting involved. Who thinks they can play like Demchenko? Actually, that's probably a bad thing. You probably don't want to play like Demchenko. Demchenko chose the wrong one.
Yeah. Looking at his score today, you don't want to play like Demchenko.
If you're really a trooper,
I really find it quite funny that he has a knight on the H7.
No, you don't get 2 tries. You have to write the move. Write a move, and if you're really feeling frisky, write why. I would think Queen F5. Yes, okay.
We have 2 Queen F5s.
G6 looks
the
better.
The reasoning is general. Oh. That's fine. Just go with the flow, Sam. Do what your heart desires.
Queen F5. I see Queen G6 because it pins the bishop. I vote option C. You sound like me on a test. I don't know, just pick C. It's right 25% of the time.
Exactly.
Alright, we got 2 votes. I know we got more viewers than that. Alright, 3 people. We got Rook takes G5, which is not an option. I think we have to just start banning people.
I agree. Who's first?
Queen F5 gets destroyed. Okay. Seems more roomy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Stops a 5 break. Okay.
Queen G6 with F6 ideas. Alright, everybody. So the good news is that some of you who played Queen F5, here's the good news. You can be as good as Demchenko. The bad news is you can be as bad as Demchenko.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
So here is why. And Demchenko actually overlooked this. He overlooked that after Queen F5, there is Rook takes H7 check. The point is that you cannot take with the king because after this, King G6 or King G7, It's mate on h6. It's dovetails mate. King cannot escape. King is completely stuck. And if you play queen takes h7, which you thought you protected, then after this ridiculous sequence of moves, queen h2, which Demchenko might have overlooked, it clears the path for the rook.
This is so crazy.
And
the man that sees this, it's absolutely disgusting.
But here's the thing. The reason why queen g6 is better is really, really fascinating. It's better because this is no longer a threat, because the queen protects the h6 square. So king takes now wins because the king gets here and the queen doesn't protect h6 from f5.
Exactly. Oof.
So
do you still have... Let me see.
Rook g3, right? Looks pretty scary.
Well, I'm looking at something now, playing the bishop on h6 first. Is that...
Yeah, so unfortunately, in this situation, you always can hide.
h7.
And the other thing, of course, is that if you start with Rook g3, I just go this way, Mike. I just... Bye-bye! I'm leaving.
See ya!
And if you play bishop h6... this position is just actually much better for black, because this bishop is just so weird. It's the best way to describe it.
Very weirdly placed. You have the rooks for it, which is... And look at this. Look at white's pawn structure.
Yes.
Look at black's pawn structure.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Now, unfortunately, later in the game, Demchenko got to this kind of position where it looked like it was... I mean, it was more impressive to lose the game than to win it. You know, this is one of these end games where you're like, how do you lose? I mean, you have a complete fortress. Every single piece black has is protected by something.
Yeah.
Every single piece. Like, what prevents you from playing a6 and king a7, king b6 the rest of the game? Or like...
Exactly, just pass. Do your thing. Just cross your arms, lean back, and say, good luck,
like
buddy.
This way, this way, this way, that way. Like a nice little rectangle of knight moves. Like knight c7, knight a6, knight c7, knight a8, knight c7, knight a6. Well, you know, no spoiler alert, but Mamedyarov did end up winning the game after just a series of questionable decisions from Demchenko.
Well, it has to be said that it's 52 moves later, so there has been a lot of checks and poking around. Even
here, complete fortress. I mean, everything is guarded. No way for the king to get in. I think if you really want, you can even put this knight on b8. You do have to be a little bit careful how you lose the pawn, but I mean, this is just complete and utter equality. There is just simply no way to lose this. But these random rook moves that he kept playing were just very surprising.
Yeah,
I think it was difficult for him to calculate putting something on e5 and potentially, but like, why not just rook c6, rook c5, rook c6,
exactly,
rook c5, rook c6.
All you need to do. I think he was tilted and he just wanted to win and he smelled to win, and he was at the point like, okay, I already lost everything. If I lose this one, it doesn't matter anymore. I think that if he would have been on a better score and a better pace, I think he wouldn't have taken so much chances, but I think he wanted to prove something. But that's just speculations.
Yeah, no, I'm actually not even sure that he was... I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. I've never spoken to him, so even though he does play for the Marshall, so I think he was just kind of shuffling at this point just to gain a little bit of clock time, and he got hit with this pin, so he reacted very instinctively, like, oh, I gotta defend my rook, but he actually doesn't have to defend the rook at all. No one cares about this freaking rook, dude. You can even play king b7 here. This is not a winning endgame. This is a draw. I mean, how does... What are you gonna let me outflank you? No, just king c6. I mean, even king c7 is a draw. Just don't play like this move or something.
Yeah. Don't do.
I mean, king, just don't go there. Like,
well, even then, don't you just have a6 and a7? The balls around all the time.
No, I mean, this would be losing because I can force you into playing b5.
Ah, you're forced to play b5.
Yeah, I'll force you into playing b5. It's a nice little instructional pawn endgame. I don't know if chat was like, bro, I just hide on a6. I don't care. Like,
I'll just sit there, buddy.
But no, I mean, he played king d6, which allowed, if we fast forward like around here, he played king d6, instinctively reacting to the defensive. Yeah, I mean, there was just so much shuffling. We have to go like this far right here. Nope. Right here.
Almost. There we are. Okay.
So king d6 allows c5 check, which looks stupid because you just give away a pawn. But the point is now the king gets a new square and can get to b5, and the a5 pawn is weak. And if you lose a5, you can actually lose this game. The fortress is broken. And then the queen got in, and, well, after the queen got in, there was a rook hanging, so good game. So this c5 move, very, very instructive to break the fortress, sacrifices a pawn, unhooks the a5 pawn from the defense, and, well.
It's a very sour loss. One that you didn't want to have.
Yeah, I mean, if Demchenko had drawn, then New York would have gotten some extra points for the standings, and actually New York would have been in 4th place, but now New York is in 5th.
It's almost just half small points. I don't think you should actually never do that. Like, oh, if I would have drawn that one, or oh, if I would have won that one, things would have been different.
Yeah,
because
of course.
You proceed playing on differently throughout the game and the match, but it's always, looking back at it, it's just...
Well, it's always easier to go, why didn't I draw Mamedyarov with black, you know? Like, why did I have to lose to him? I don't know, that's the 5th best chess player on the planet, so... Chat.
Oh, he was on a, Demchenko was on quite a solid run, so maybe you got a little bit overconfident. Who knows?
But my friends, right now the plan is to shift our focus to the Fan Prix. So we are going to change our overlay slightly.
Here we go. We already have a solid. Hold on. We got the one and only Daniel Wrench has joined as well in the Fan Prix.
Yeah, we have Danny Wrench participating. Everybody, this is a 2-hour 10+2 arena.
We need a bounty on Danny.
It's
everyone that beats Danny will get. What will
they get? They will get a subscription to the Pro Chess League channel and all the emotes available here, which is
exactly
how many emotes?
Let me check. I'm not sure if I can count all of them. Oof. But I don't think it even has, or it doesn't even have a sub button. Oops. Never mind.
You can't subscribe to the Pro Chess League channel?
No, you can't subscribe to the... Take my money. Finally, I wanted it.
Oh, well, that's awkward. All right, you'll get a subscription to the chess.com channel.
Exactly. GGU.
And you'll be the first to know about the emotes. You'll get the first email, you know? So
yeah. Keep you up to date. You'll be emotes VIP.
Chad, there's a lot of ways to get involved with Pro Chess League. On Twitter, with Pro Chess League Fantasy Contest, where you have a chance to win $10,000. Now, that is not a debated. There actually is a $10,000 prize. And I think Greg Shahade actually bumped that up to $20,000 for the weeks of the Battle Royale, because he really doesn't think that anyone is going to win it, so... Use your algorithms, use your quantitative analysis.
Yeah, go to with a sightseer.
Bet red.
Whatever it takes, sacrifice a goat. And don't actually do that. But make sure, fill them in, and get involved and win 10,000 hondos. For nothing.
Our arena is underway here in 2 minutes. We are going to follow the games of Mr. Daniel Wrench. I hope that is not a... joke and that he will actually be playing. Best of luck to Danny.
Well, actually, I'll be participating as well for a few games because I bumped up my red bet. I finally bumped up my red bet. I started playing a little bit on my stream, and now I'm finally not the highest yet, but 1800, so which is good enough to start participating in this tournament as well. But I'll join later. We'll join later. We don't want to see me off the bat and get destroyed. We'll want to see that later. But to join everyone, we now have 42 players. We're starting in 45 seconds. You can still join in any time of the day. And we have a lot of cool prizes to give away if you play in this tournament. And definitely if you stream them. What were those prizes again, Levy?
Yeah, we have 3-year Diamond membership, which if you don't like, then... I'm tremendously sorry for your loss. We can bump it up to 4 years. So you get 3 years of a Diamond membership for first, 2 years for second, and 1 year for third. Those numbers got a little bit mixed up in my head. There's streaming prizes as well, so really, it's quite solid. I'm not gonna lie. It's really a tremendous prize, and I think we should all be very happy with it. So that's just my opinion. I mean,
Dude, we're just generally happy people. And we're off. You want to spectate the dancer first?
yes, for sure.
See how he does?
No pressure, Danny.
Yeah, Danny.
We'll see how you do.
We're going to is he you gotta move, Danny. Okay. Well, that's solid.
Danny?
Hello, sir. Did he just lost like 100 rating points because of
Danny with the forfeit loss. Okay.
Okay, banned.
Oh man.
Report him.
Oh, Danny. All right. Well,
let me ping him real quick. GGO. What the hell?
Danny just signed up for the hype. He didn't actually want to play. Yeah. It's very funny. Oh, Danny.
G-baited. He G-baited us. What a troll, chat. Doesn't
So,
matter.
this is a fun matchup because this is a player... Shakhriyar is like a 2000, but Elm is not a 2000. Elm is 2700 Blitz and 2900 Bullet.
Excuse me. That's quite an impressive feature. How is this guy not there a title, or is he an undercover lover?
He is I think he's like a 12 or 13-year-old FM or CM from Israel, something like that.
And doesn't want to go for the title yet. Like, I had for my club, R2 Pipers, you probably don't know him, but he also went, skipped the FM title and the CM title, and just went for the IM title. And he's now currently 2480 FIDE.
I know Arthur Pipers.
Arthur Pipers.
Of course.
You know everyone.
I know a lot of, like, how do you say Roland's last name?
Pruisers?
Oh my god, is that how you say it?
That's how you
Okay, because I've always said it Prugicers or something, so... And I just, the way I say Roland's last name is Roland P. He's just Roland P. That's who he is.
Keep rolling. And any other Dutch names we want to clarify about, like Robin van Kampen, as we say, or Wouter Spoelman, Luke van Wely. Dude, I can go up.
Wait, it's Spoelman? It's not Spielman?
That's Spoelman.
Okay, I'm getting a lesson in Dutch here because...
Yeah, I think take your notes, everyone.
I'm pretty sure I called him Wouter Spielman just because I was like, it sounds vaguely accurate. So
yeah, I mean, the fact that you could pronounce Wouter that well as you do is actually kind of impressive.
No, I mean, I generally have decent pronunciation, but like when I look at a name, for example, like Roland's last name, I don't know. I don't know where the inflections are. I don't know.
How do you say the person who finished last at the Challengers, Stefan? How do you pronounce his last name?
What's Stefan's last name?
Well, Kuipers. But I was gonna see how you pronounce it.
Oh no, I don't know. I didn't know who it was. I didn't follow the. I don't follow the challengers.
Below your level. How dare I insinuate it? No. All right, let's skip the Dutch lessons for another time. Keep begging big for a Dutch learning stream. One day, Sammy. One day, if you can play a game where you are queen up and you can win, then we can take some him up. We know it's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm kidding, man. We love you with a beating graph. I don't hate White's position here, actually. I really don't hate White's position here. You really hate me? Ooh. Get in line, buddy. Get in line. Anyhow, this... they both have the bishop pair. Ooh.
That's interesting. Things are heating up a little bit.
Things are definitely heating up. It's kind of an interesting one. I mean, I'm just going to take on a3, and if you take on g7, I'm going to play king g8, and good luck getting through, man. I don't really see how... I mean, I like the idea, I like the tactics. Maybe there's something happening on d5. I'm just going to play king g8, and I'm going to feel all good.
So I'm thinking how we should do this. It would be fun if you played a game, and I would also play a game. But I suppose I would not be able to tell you. I mean, I would have to do some commentary on your game, and you would have to play it.
We can do that. I mean, we can both start at the same time. We both have 0 points. Maybe we'll play each other. We'll commentate on it.
Well, that sounds like a bit of a scheme, I suppose. We could do
a pyramid scheme.
Let's see.
And you want to buy some essential oils and play in the Prix at the same time? Make sure to.
Well, what is going on in this game? So Queen F6.
It's not that crazy. I think he just has to defend.
Bishop takes H3.
Does he have King G6 check?
Can he play
Queen G6, King takes G6, Bishop E4 check, and then you're gonna promote on E8.
But King F7.
Let's see. Oh, of course, Bishop takes H3 check. What am I saying?
But
what am I saying? Even better. Queen G6, King takes G6, Bishop takes H3 check, and you're gonna win the Queen on D7.
Oh my gosh.
Come back at me.
Queen G6. I
think he's listening, so this is actually...
That's absolutely disgusting.
Kind of discouraging.
That is a disgusting move. If we get Queen G6 on the board, I might do a train whistle with my hands.
You think he muted the stream? You think he's in the stream? I think he already played it, if he did.
Oh man, this is a tense moment. Will he find this ridiculous queen? This is a fun arena because you get games like this.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a very strong player he's playing against. And I think white is actually, even if he plays something like Queen F8, is also very strong.
Queen F8 threatens mate in one.
The idea of just promoting. And if you take with the rook, oh, I'm going to take on F8 with a knight. Ka-ching!
Wow. Yeah, Queen F8 if takes is G takes F8 knight! Or, I mean, you could probably also make a queen and win, but... wow. He's thinking. I mean, the thing is, you have 7 minutes. Like, if you can calculate that Queen G6 is just a winning move, then...
Right, it's very unobvious. I think Queen F8 is a little bit more of an obvious move.
No, but Queen G6, if you follow like the hierarchy of forcing moves, it's right there. I mean, it is the best move because after King takes, you realize that Bishop takes H3. Now he would have to find Bishop takes H3 because we've been looking at these two moves. But okay, he plays Queen F8.
Queen F8.
Yeah, Queen G6 is just a little bit too cold-blooded. The other thing is like
the move of the week. We would star you on the Pro Chess League Twitter page. If you would have played Queen G6 as game of the week.
Queen G6 is a sick move. But Queen F8 also very nice. And Black has to find...
What does he have here?
Black has to find some tough moves.
Well, he needs to defend G8. So I'm thinking either Queen E6 or Bishop E6. Probably Bishop E6. Make sure that your Bishop isn't under attack anymore. And you defend G8. Seems
what is the problem with Queen E6? I'm trying to find.
Problem with Queen E6. Let me put it on. I don't know. I think they're both. I think they're both capable moves.
Well, he played a move. Okay, he played Bishop E6. He just went back.
All right. That seems good. And now, what does White have? What can White do? Which Bishop F1.
Wow.
Going for D3.
And also going for G8 Queen. Mate.
Holy moly. And still you cannot take because of the knight. This is incredible. Incredible display. How does he find these moves, dude?
Bishop E4 check wouldn't work. Because when you go here, the queen ends up protecting G7, everybody. So really the goal of pushing this pawn out of the way is not to mate on G7, it's to mate on G8. That's the point. Although, wait a second. G8 is not a checkmate threat. Because the rook on E8 protects the G8 square. That was a miscalculation on my part.
Alright, that's true.
So, what if Black plays a move like Queen... Can you play Queen F7? Oh, Queen H8 is a mate threat. No, it's not, because Rook. Oh my goodness. I'm going insane.
Okay, this is going to be a... If the Rook defends G8 and he's on the H file, also defends H8.
Okay, but promoting is a threat because Rook takes G8 at least is a threat. And then you will win a Rook. Okay, so you're not mating, but... God. Position's a headache.
This is you picked a fine game to look at.
It's a great game. It's a great game. By the way, y'all, we get asked this question a lot, and I saw somebody earlier mention because of the controversy yesterday. Like, how do you know people aren't? Folks, this is a live broadcasted arena. We look at every game, and there's a big prize at the end. So this is pretty much the worst place to use engine assistance because your account and IP will be banned. It's like such a disaster for you to break the rules. Don't do it. I mean, for what? Like a diamond membership. I mean, it's very silly. Everyone's like, how do I know? Why should I even play? Because we know. We know.
We're on there.
The other day on stream,
there,
I was playing a 1400, and I was dead lost move 10. So this was a red flag that either I'm really bad at chess, or I'm being cheated against. So I reported it, and the person was banned a move away from checkmating me. It was the most gangster thing ever. It was like Gotham Chess wins by resignation. I go to his account, close for fair play. I was like,
I love that. Easy.
I got that easy dub. I wish all my opponents did that. One move away from me resigning.
It's like one of those movies where the bad guy like freezes just before he can reach his hand towards the neck or something. Like one of those things.
That was
and then
very movie-like moment. Queen f7, okay. Well, g8 just wins, right? g8 takes, rook takes. That's game over.
Yeah, just g8 queen. Or can you play g8 bishop for style points?
Maybe even g8 knight for no reason, just losing.
No, g8 bishop, and if you play king h8, you have queen takes h6, which results into mate.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, yes. Do that.
Well, he has to find g8, queen g8, rook g8, which is actually like not so difficult, right? I mean, it's like it's a rook on g1. You also do have to be a little bit careful. Like for instance, does bishop d3 win? Let's say rook takes d3. Well, I guess you can throw in queen takes.
Queen takes f7.
Something like this. I mean, this is obviously still also completely winning for white. Just up in exchange, pawn on g7. But let's see what happens. Obviously, the most winning is just to make the queen. Wow. It'll be a very nice win. I mean, black is, yeah, he plays the queen check.
Yeah, there it is.
Two queens on the board.
Not the bishop. Not the bishop, unfortunately, but we're going to give it to him. Anyhow.
Ooh, great game. Great game. I mean, he didn't win yet, but great game. My favorite part about this is watching like amateur players, like 12, 1300s. Because bishop e3 is not so good. If you have, first of all, bishop e3 is illegal. First of all, it's illegal.
Unfortunately.
If you play bishop d3, I'm just sacrificing my rook for it, and you probably still can go here and bail out, but this isn't as winning as it could have been. Plus, if you play rook takes d3, I'm just going to take your queen, and then you're going to lose. So you need to do something about the queen here.
Well, this is a very, very nice win against a very talented player. 2,700 blitz and 2,900 bullets is no joke.
Yeah, he's like ridiculously talented. Actually, my record against Elm is, I think, less than 50%.
Let's see what my record against Elm is. Let's see. I haven't lost a single game. Oh, wait, I lost 3 games. Never mind. Try to brag over here because we never played, but I already got destroyed. Beyond my knowledge. And now let's see what else do we have. It seems like Danny is still he's still on the top. He's still third, funny enough. Oh no, the standings is updated.
Does Danny play another game?
No, he didn't play another game. He's 0 out of 1. This is actually I think it's kind of funny.
Oh man.
He got distracted.
Yeah,
I already made sure to message him with the controversial banter.
Rook e5, black resigns. There it is on the board. All right,
GG, buddy.
Let's go look around for some other games. What's going on?
Yes, let's look for the. What else do we have?
How about Phlox, who's a?
Yeah, I was on it. I was on
nice.
it. I know exactly what you mean.
All right,
but this seems already fair.
Whoa! What? Whoa! Hold up.
I mean, there's a rook hanging on h5. Queen e5.
Hold up. He just played that move. I think he just forgot that the bishop could even go there.
Yeah, but even if you played rook h8 or something back, you just have queen e5 winning the knight on c5.
Well, why couldn't he have? Okay, never mind. That game is over.
Let's
How about Simon Says versus Soham Chatterjee?
Let me see. Where is that beautiful bastard? Simon Says. Here we go. I have some games open at the same time. Because, now this one is actually... I was more looking into Silent Agent against Perpetual Stalemate, which is actually a fairly interesting position. With a queen and rook against a queen and bishop.
Sure. Let's do it. But isn't...
However, I think he's running into a mate.
Wait, yeah, doesn't rook e3, rook g3 just win?
Yeah, this is... Never mind. It was exciting a few moves back. And now it's...
Yeah, this one is not looking so hot.
No. Definitely not.
Simon Says we might be looking at a 400+ point upside here if Simon Says loses this game against Chatterjee.
Well, looking at his position, he's down 2 pawns and in exchange. Black has to pass pawn. His king is completely safe. The 2 rooks have all the liberty that they could have. It's got to be a very tough cookie to win this one. Where's the knight going? I mean, knight b3, if something like rook c3 and rook d3, and there are some pinning problems. Even rook c3, knight b3, you can play rook takes b3, queen takes b3, queen takes a1 check.
Right.
And you just win. You just win the world. It's a tough game to play. And I think we're going to see the upset, as you just mentioned, but you never knew.
Yeah, I'm just backing up here, looking how things got so bad. I think Black was surprised in the opening, but reacted very, very diligently.
Hold on. There's a very nice tactic here. Right now. For the fans at home, what do you play here? Very nice tactic.
Yeah, let's see if he sees it. Takes, and here.
Exactly. We're not calling it out just yet because we don't want them to look with us and that we're helping too much, but it's definitely a very thematic and sexy thing.
Let's see.
You think he'll see it? You want to place a bet?
No. No. He sees it.
Oh! And there it goes. That's a GG. Oh, he needs to find the follow-up. Okay. You never know. And he won by resignation.
Very impressive game.
For both sides. Oh, Daddy's playing. He's back.
Oh, wow.
He's back in action. And he's playing a 1300 C-Care. I think he already won a game beforehand. Let me check. Yeah, he already won. So he's back on the grind. He just wants to play some fan Prix, have some fun.
Playing an Italian game.
I like this early queen g6 kind of stuff, always eyeballing the h3.
Yeah, you've got some...
It's got some issues. Some minor issues are developing. But for now, it's still calm, collective. Nothing too much going on here on both ends. What would white play here? Just queen e2? Just develop?
I
mean, this just loses a pawn on d3, so...
Yeah, this is very...
What?
Oh, I thought Danny was white.
Oh.
I was like, Danny's getting crushed. Okay, but Danny's crushing. Got it.
Okay.
It's a very nice, very, very nice move there. I was about to compliment Danny's opponent, but okay, queen g6 makes a lot of sense. The queen and the bishop, pressure here, pressure here. The threat is bishop takes c4, which wins a piece, because otherwise you lose your queen. Bishop takes h3 is a threat. Okay, so Danny's doing very well. Yeah, everybody's rating is a bit lower. Danny's 2475 and 2447. He's very talented.
All right, this is what we're going to do. When Danny finishes his game, like just when he finishes, I'm going to start searching for a game and try to stream snipe him this way. And then we're going to have, then I'm going to mute you. Just take off my headphones. That's the easiest way. And then we'll have some fun.
Oh,
We'll play
awesome!
a
Yeah,
game.
that's probably the easiest way to do it if you just take off your
Yeah,
your
I'm taking off
headset.
my headphones.
Or I can mute myself. I can mute myself on the call. I think that would be good too.
Oh yeah, that's also fine.
Let's see.
It's whatever your heart desires.
All right, super. So we're gonna hunt Danny, hunting Danny Wrench here on the Pro Chess League Fan Prix. You're about to not get it. He's about to go to a meeting. I mean, Danny's faking being a busy guy. You know, obviously Fan Prix, 2 hours of the week. Come on, gotta get the Fan Prix games in.
I mean, that's the most important thing. Let's go Twitter it out. Let's tweet it out. Join the tournament, everybody. I'm just gonna.
I think Danny would like a 3-year premium membership. I don't know if he gets one, but
I think he's doing it for the subs. Definitely doing it for the subs.
I got you. Autographed pair of Danny's socks. Like pre-workout or post-workout?
Yeah, I know, right? Where you?
Like the basketball players recently, they've started giving away their shoes. I think it's such a ridiculous concept, but the shoes cost like tens of thousands of dollars. So
it's there was actually a username back in the day called Eric's Stinky Socks, which was actually one of the Twitch OG legends. So when you talk about socks, that's the one thing that's also brings back the memories.
But people, the basketball players have started giving away. Basketball players have some size 17, 18 shoes, just.
Oh yeah, I thought that was impressive, but those people really.
No, but it's proportionate, right? Because they're like 6'7", 6'8". I mean, they're like.
Yeah, of course.
So Danny going full endgame here, channeling his Magnus C6, going for B5 maybe.
Okay. So what do you want to this bishop is stuck? So I like b3. I think b3 is a very good move. That's probably going back to b6 or d6, trying to put some pressure on this c3 pawn. I'm drawing arrows and everything, but nobody can see it. Doesn't matter. It's for myself. I'm feeling good about it. I think you just want to get the king to the center, establish a nice structure pawn-wise, because it's not really an issue. I don't know. It's not that easy. I would lose on both sides against them.
I would lose on both sides. That reminds me of a game recently. My friend played against what's it called? My friend played a game in Spice Cup in St. Louis, and he got ground down in a relatively equal endgame against the strong GM. And then afterward, he heard the GM say, "I would have won that game on both sides." It's like, wow, that is some vicious trash talk.
Yeah, I know, right? Ouch.
I beat you, but I would have beaten you even with the side that lost.
There must be something going on then if you... Well, hold on. White has a dark square bishop, and black is putting his pawns on all dark squares. Is that intentional, Danny? Or Danny? Levy? Is that intentional?
Oh, I thought you were actually asking Danny. I was like, I don't think he can hear us. Hi, Danny, if you can hear us.
We could just talk bad trash about him, then we'll see the messages pop up if he hears something.
I like knight b8. He's going knight c6. I mean, I think that the only break that white has in this position is the move a5, and
I think you should play it right now before you play knight c6.
Yeah, the thing about a5 is okay, you're gonna trade. If you can get the c pawns off the board, it's probably just getting closer to a draw. So I'm not so sure.
Yeah. Not that stoked about it, but where are you gonna go into? You cannot attack this pawn on c5. Well, maybe you have to go bishop d2 and then going to e3. But I think he does the right thing, bringing his king. It's moving closer to a draw for some reason. I don't know. It's like I said, it's not that easy.
The good thing for Danny is that the king is always so close to the pawn that he never really is at any risk of losing it. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world to win. I mean, obviously black is better, but
a good thing for Danny is that he's Danny. That also helps. But I think, what does white play here? Can you play g4? Just stop this pawn here on g5, getting it stuck, and then maybe go for something like this. I think g4 would have been a very interesting move for white. The point being, trap the pawns on dark squares.
Yeah, I see. G4 makes some sense to create a...
I mean, bishop d8 is always one of those threats. I mean, still, maybe not... Yeah, it's still like g4. Just trap the pawns on the dark squares. You always have bishop d8 to be annoying. He has a lot of space.
Yeah, bishop d8 is very rational. Well, we'll see. We'll see what White can come up with. It's a good endgame to follow. All right, Danny's playing f4. If the king gets too close, you can always boot it with something like knight f6.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Now
He's gonna have to trade here.
$1 million question: do you take with G or E? So he takes with G. His pawn's not in danger anymore.
And now.
Whoa.
Ooh. He's trying to mate himself. Knight c5. Oh, spot there.
That was a bad decision.
This is completely lost. Okay, I'm getting ready.
All right, you gotta click that button. I also just
gotta click that button.
All right, let's see. Will Danny play again?
Dude, I'm so hyped. I'm stoked. Let's go, Danny. This is for all the times you've ignored my Slack messages.
King e5. Takes.
Yeah, this is just a very... he's just going to push the queen all the way to the first rank, and he's going to gobble up the h4 pawn or the c4 pawn. I think the h4 pawn.
Yeah, h4 is the simplest because, yeah, right now you have an issue. You cannot stay glued to the... Yeah, because king g3 now.
Yeah, and now it's...
Danny getting his games in here.
GG no re. Oh! I did it. Yes!
You're playing him?
I'm playing him. Okay.
Wow, it worked.
Arben. It worked.
Wait.
Arben, I'll see you later. See you on the other side.
All right. That's very funny. Where's the game? I'm looking for it. There we go. So Big, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
So we have to...
I will mute this. Let me see. I'm muting myself. And I'm muting... Yes, there we go. And I'm muting this. Now if Big talks, only I will hear him, but not you people. Well, guess it's just you and I, chat. Looking like both sides heading for an opposite side castling. We know that Bick likes to play these modern positions. And he's going for knight g4, trying to get the dark squared bishop off the board. He's got these g7, b7 snipers from the sides, and it's not too late for Danny to just bail with something like bishop d3 or bishop c4 and then just go castle queenside. So any questions, anybody? Happy to answer them. F5! He's going on a big attack. Sorry, sending some messages to the back end on chess.com. So F5. White already is doing quite well here. I mean, anytime you can break through with a move like E5 or F5, you're gonna be a happy camper in these positions, because if you castle queenside and the position opens up, you've got pressure against the king and the queen. If you trade on a6 and you go this way, the rook will always support this pawn. So really, you can't really lose here. Meaning, not that you can lose. It's not that you can't lose the game. It's really more of a question of like you can't lose with your choices, and you have such good options. So Big is thinking knight c6. Doesn't this move just like win? Okay, so first of all, I mean, he's got a lot of nice moves here. But I think this is the simplest. If he takes, and what about just queen d3? Look at that. That is beautiful board geometry. Danny Wrench is not messing around. He plays bishop b5. That's a very nuanced move. Very nuanced. The bishop b5, the pressure is up against... Yeah, this is really bad. I mean, the knight's just got nowhere to go. He's gonna have to retreat. Wow, this is a position gone wrong here, as Danny is swarming without even castling, using the queen, the knights, and the pawns just as a Valkyrie ride forward. E6. I'm not so sure about this move, but I also haven't done, I mean, he doesn't have to go e6. I feel like maybe he can even take or just castle. I mean, I was even thinking f6, right? Because you cannot take. This is one of the reasons. Although king d7 could be an interesting move here. The point being that fg rook e8 looks like the queen could be under some trouble. Knight e4 maybe. Anyway, I like e6, but I'm just not so sure it's necessary. Castles. And rook f8. King h8, and, you know, oh, this is a beautiful move. Absolutely beautiful move. Knight g5. That could come as a shocker. Yeah, this is... Oh, he might get styled on. You know what would have been beautiful? This would have been beautiful. Getting smothered mated. So queen f7, queen takes b5. Just knight h5 here. Excuse me, knight f5. Yes, knight f5. Knight h5. Oh, knight h5 actually also worked because queen e8. Very nice move here. Knight f5, and wow. I think we're gonna send Big back in. You know, it's one of these, like, yeah, you had a bad game. Go play another game. Go turn it around. Yeah, I mean, playing Danny's just ridiculous. I mean, it's just completely overwhelming attack here, and... Yikes. Alright, so I'm gonna unmute myself on the call. Hey, that was a rough one.
Shut up.
That was a tough game. I mean, he's also, you know, I mean, he's at the end of the day, it's kind of a tough rating balance. But why don't you play another game? Why don't you play another game? That was...
Yeah, I'll do another game. We'll do another game. We can do this. We can win.
I mean, Danny's good. Like,
all right, we'll just get back into it.
So let's see. I can play a game after too. So
yeah, and I can commentate on that.
Oh, but I guess you can, right? Because it's going to be on my screen. That's the only thing. So I'll have it up on my screen, but there won't be arrows, really.
No, but that's fine.
All right, so we'll do that. All right, are you playing it?
I'm already crushing it.
Nice, okay.
Winning.
Muting it!
See ya!
All right, cool. Big back in it! Playing, well, it depends what his next move is. If he plays c4, he's got a bit of a Catalan. We saw a very similar structure, actually, in a game we went over today. And that was... Excuse me. That was the game Naroditsky versus Hansen. Very similar kind of structure. It's a question of whether to trade the light squared bishop or what have you. But Bick has gone for a pretty solid Catalan versus I mean, this is kind of the best Catalan structure that black can get, meaning that you've brought out your light squared bishop and it's out of the pawn chain, but you also have this triangle of pawns and it's very nice. And then bishop e7, maybe bishop d6 is also okay. Bishop e7 is solid. now really the question is, how does big make progress? You can play b3, bishop b2, just to develop the dark squared bishop that way. You can play for e4. Yep, he plays b3 and he's trying to play bishop b2. Perfectly reasonable. He could have moved the bishop out, in another direction, but he goes for it, and it's a question of who's going to break in the center first. Both sides have kind of set up what they would like. Now, who will do what? I mean, black can keep playing waiting moves. Black can play a6, bishop g6, rook c8, right? And now it's up to white to kind of go, all right, I'm ready, and I'm going to start some sort of attack. So rook c8, what is big going to do? Rook e1 also makes a waiting move, preparing, kind of improving his position. And black is sitting. I mean, black can again continue the waiting game here. In a lot of these positions, it's just about slight improvement. Like a6 will probably always be a useful move because you will control b5 and potentially play b5 yourself. You can play bishop g6 because the bishop isn't doing too much here, and on this diagonal, it's obviously a much improved piece. I don't know. It's probably about balanced, but he plays bishop g6. There was a move here, Engine is screaming to play knight e4 and claiming that black has some advantage. I mean, it just seems... We saw Hansen do this against Naroditsky, if any of you remember, and then the move f5 was on the board, kind of going for a good stonewall, because the bishop is out of the pawn chain already. Light squared bishop, which is usually the bad piece. Knight e5. Okay, so let's say I take. Anytime a piece like this jumps into the position, your first instinct should not be, oh my gosh, I can't take it. It should be, well, what if I just take it? So let's say knight takes, pawn takes, and I just drop the knight back and I attack this. Knight takes, pawn takes, knight d7. What will happen? Or maybe not. Maybe black will get scared and go, I don't want to take on e5. I don't want to take on e5. I'm happy with the way it is. And he plays queen c7. Like I said, I mean, but now Big gets what he wants. Like, when you play this position and you put a knight on e5, it's so quiet with no music. I'm so used to doing... The thing is, I do streams on the official channel, but then I do my own streams. When I'm quiet on my own streams, music plays. I just listen to music. But when it's completely silent, it's like I have to talk all the time. Unless we can just enjoy silence. What do you think? I can... We're gonna get copyrighted. Okay, I hope no one clips that. Bishop c2. Vic always slightly better now because he's got the two bishops and a little bit more space, but if black can successfully create counterplay in the center, this pawn structure, chat, resembles which opening? Correct. That one that no one mentioned. It's Caro-Kann. c6, e6, g6, Benoni. The Benoni. Exactly. Potless. By the way, if you're a potless flower, where do you grow? You just grow like out of the ground? Baloney. Solid. Solid. I don't know if you were trying to say balcony or baloney, but you love c5 here. I don't. Actually, I think c5 would be a gross misunderstanding of the position. Not to put Potless Flower on blast, but if you play something like for instance, right now this move is not great because you just give me a beautiful square for my knight. You've got to be very careful allowing my knight to get into the game. c4 is standing there in a structural formation. I'm specifically preventing your knight from accessing that square, and the pawn on c4 controls the central square. If you push this pawn here, you limit the scope of my bishop, but the knight gets to d5. Capablanca played c5? Alright, well, can somebody call up Capablanca so I can have a talk with him about playing the move c5? Capablanca probably played the move c5 when there was a pawn on d5. He probably played it when this was still here. And then that would make a lot of sense because it restricts the queen side. Problem with doing this now, it really depends on the position where he did it. But if he did it, you know, well, then Capablanca and I need to have a conversation. Anybody can give him a call for me, that would be very much appreciated. Or I can just build a time machine and go back in time. That would also be an option. It's a very okay. If you could show me that game, I'd be very, very curious to see, because this is in this position. Definitely, c5 is not recommended. There must be something different about the games. I don't mean to, but I'm. What is this? Queen takes e6. Whoa, this is looking very nice. But he sacrificed the piece. Sure. I'll let you know when the time machine is built. Absolutely. So Rookie 6, Bika sacrificed the piece. But he has a beautiful pawn chain from a2 to d5. He's got powerful bishop. If I've got to go with... But this reminds me of the game that we looked at earlier today, everybody. Mamedyarov versus Sevian. When Mamedyarov was down a piece, and Sevian blockaded and simply won the game. Remember, this is why chess patterns overlap. Chess patterns overlap, and this is absolutely no exception. The perfect example of this. Big thinking here, how to break through. Still probably trying to figure out exactly how to do that. Rook e3. Vic is working here, working the position, looking for some opportunities. The bishop e5. Rook d7. Maybe Big can play like f4, g4 in these positions. Okay, we're just waiting to see how Big is going to go about this position. Yeah, guys, how do you feel about the Super Bowl? I know a lot of you are international, so will you be watching it? A g4 here. Now, a big mistake in this position from Black would be to take. because then white would play fe, and you would overwhelm with the passed pawns. But I think he's created a really nice position. If he can play potentially the king to f3 and slowly but surely just continue to make progress, maybe here king f2 is slightly better, but I don't know. I mean, it could be one, it could be whatever. It could be either or. Either or. So this king f2 is defending his rook from any nonsense. I think black is always slightly better here. Just again, black is up a piece. So ultimately... yeah, ultimately black is the one playing for a win. Black is thinking. Black is thinking, but, you know, on the other hand, when you're playing black in this position, if you can't find a nice way to make progress, you suddenly start panicking, and you suddenly, yeah, like, you play a move like that. Like, what does that move accomplish? You just play these kind of useless moves that don't really do anything, and you allow white to continuously improve. Like, rook e7 didn't do anything. So knight h7. Yeah, see, like, look at black's last two moves. Rook e7. And then this. Okay, starting from here, black basically said, I have no idea how to play this position, so I'm going to continuously retreat. Now I wouldn't be surprised if white is the one with the advantage. You see, I mean, Bigfoot is just going forward, and black is like, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. And now he's just, and now Big is probably just much better. Because this is stuck over here, and you've invaded on the 7th rank. So probably the best thing to do is to give up one of these pawns and bring the knight into the game. I mean, if you play very passively with rook b6, I'll lock your knight away forever. If you play knight f8, I mean, I can move my king forward. This knight has no moves. Right? Black has entombed themselves. I did make this point. My point was that if black decides that they don't know how to make progress and misevaluates the position as losing rather than winning, then black will start to play passively. And that's exactly what happened. Black said, well, I mean, I don't know, black didn't verbalize anything, but black kind of went, uh-oh, I feel like white has a better position than me. And started playing incredibly passively and incredibly defensively. And, I mean, this is just miserable now. This is just completely lost, probably. White will move the king to e4 and to e5, and I mean, that just have no moves. Knight can't move, the king can't go this way, because you always take here. Right, a6. I'm not even sure he has to play this. He can. Probably it's the best move, but he's just moving the king forward, and black is stuck. Now a5. So black's last two moves, a6, a5. A6 and a5, and now Big is just deciding, do I play f5, do I play king e5, whatever. I think Big is going to win this one. And then probably I'll play a game. I'll jump in, I'll play a game. I can talk about my my thought process. And then Big will take over the seat I'll take out my headphones. And I will have him do the commentary. Oh, d6 is crushing, and he's just going here next. He can play rook c8 and try to promote the pawn, but even king e6 is just... yeah, rook c8 doesn't win the knight, because after rook h8, the knight will come here. But this is very deliberate. I mean, again, starting about 10 moves ago, black just played incredibly passive. I mean, what is this? What are you doing? Are you trying to lose? It's just so odd. I mean, but it's exactly what I said. Whoa. Whoa, hold on. Hold on. Why didn't he just take back? What? Wait, he's just losing. Because of b2. Just b2, rook c8, knight f8, the king hides, and the pawn promotes. And you shouldn't take, because after this, the what? b2 is winning! He's winning on the spot! He has to take the pawn. If he goes here, why did he go here first? Why didn't he just play b2? No! He was gonna play knight f8 anyway! You were gonna do this anyway, so why wouldn't you just do it now? Why wouldn't you push first? What is going on in this game? I mean, black played knight f8 preemptively. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Oh my goodness. I mean, why would you preemptively stop a check? You knew it was coming. Knight f8 was gonna happen. Oh, I'm tilted. I am tilted towers up in here. But this was Black's style. Black literally stopped all the threads before... Wait, does rook c8 even... What is happening? I mean, obviously you have to give a check. Oh, king d8? Oh my gosh. Well, the king is going here. King f7? I don't know, it's still never too late to... Okay, I guess it's just gonna be a draw. Oh, king f7. That is very creative. Wow, Big only has one move here that holds the balance. Only one. Let's see if Big can find it. He only has one move in this position that holds the balance. It's very tricky here, because if you play a move like rook e8, you pretty much lose on the spot. This looks nice to go here, but rook e8 runs into knight f8 check. Tragic blunder of the rook. I see Potless Flower suggesting some stuff. So he has played it. Rook c7. Now rook d3. Still a very tough position. But chat, remember, both of us can see the game. Rook b. Whoa, he's lost. Yeah, Big wins. Wow. What a game. That was quite a game. King b8. Yes. Also, you were you were lost. If you go back to, there was some moment. Yeah, okay, I lost my mind. When he played A takes B3, you should have just played A takes. Yeah, cause his king escapes, and then he played knight F8, and I was like, he preemptively started playing extremely passively. That was really weird. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to. Yeah, okay, I can hear him now. You guys can hear him again.
Hello.
Now, see, this is what happens. Technical difficulties get people out of the chat, like, it going and out of lurking so quickly. Like, people sit there not responding to questions or anything, and then the second they can't hear, it's like, hey, excuse me, hey, something's not working. So we appreciate you.
Actually, we do. Yeah.
So I'll jump in and.
I know. Let me point out a few. Do you like the bishop takes g6? Because I saw trading everything off in d5 would be a very nice structure for white, and I can just take the time to slowly improve my position.
Yeah, this game, I was telling chat, like right around here, like when you played g4, king f2, or he played rook e8. Okay, here I think objectively black should be better, but like okay, it's better is really like a relative term. It doesn't mean much. And basically the point is that like, is the position pretty much like Mamedyarov Sevion? Like your opponent has successfully blockaded all of your kind of entry points.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, the pressure on black's position, if black is not good at fighting it off and doesn't find the right way to kind of untangle, black will start playing really passively. Here your opponent drove me completely insane. He played rook e7, knight h7, king g8. I was like, is he trying to lose? Like he backed up. He just
I bribed him. I was bribing.
That was
when I could trade those pieces and play rook e7 was just.
But on the flip side, I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, how do you make progress? I don't know. This is always the question. If I'm looking at this position, I really don't know. I mean, engine spits out some. The engine was spitting out bishop c7, bishop a5, and like tried to get in this way. I mean, of course, what your opponent did was bad. But that's fine. That's why the sacrifice from a practical perspective. Oops, I just reset the board. From a practical perspective and getting this lock on black's position, it's probably a very good decision. I mean, a lot of people playing black here will crack under the pressure just because I don't know. You kind of decide, uh-oh, I'm under pressure. I better do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like retreat all my pieces backwards. So from a practical point, piece for 2 pawns with this kind of e-file lock and the f4 and just advancing. And I mean, white played this very well. I mean, you just advance your pawns, and this simplification for black is a disaster. This is just terrible. Putting the rook on e7, it's just really bad. So,
I cannot believe I let that b2 win for so long. When I saw it, I was like,
no, it's just for one move. I mean, I don't know if you thought that like rook c8 was winning, but I think you both didn't realize that after he played knight f8 before rook c8. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? he thought he was. So the thought process is hilarious. He thought he was mated, but.
No, there was.
But he's not mated because he has king h6. It was just so strange. Anyway,
like I thought he had something like rook takes d6. Like instead of king knight f8, like he calculated rook takes d6, king takes d6, and then like pawn takes a2. But I have rook c8 check and rook a8 check to stop that pawn. That was the thought process going in from okay, I'm just gonna play king e7, and then I saw he has b2. Oh, that's pretty annoying.
Because
he didn't play it.
I think ba is even not good because the pawn can at least be stopped. Okay.
But that my last move, just to point it out, I played king takes b7, which was terrible. King b8, and I think I would have won the game fairly easy. But I played king takes b7 and I flagged him, which also is
king takes b7. Why? Because he can. No, I think king b7 is also winning. Oh well, king b8 is a little bit cleaner, but.
I don't think king b7 is winning.
No, wait, why not? What's he gonna play here? Rook d7?
A rook b7 check for starters. Oh yeah, I can play king c6 and he.
Yeah. Well, the pawn endgame is also always winning. Your king is just yo. What's up, distant fire?
Hello, buddy.
All right, so I'm gonna play a game.
Yes.
And then you let me see what I'll do. Oh no, I'm just gonna take my headphone out.
Yeah,
so if you talk, I can't hear you. You'll have to do the talking. All right, I'm gonna stop talking in 5 seconds. I'm gonna join.
Your game.
Let's go. All right, here we go.
Let me know when you start. Where are you? Ooh, I'm just finding the game chat. Don't worry about it. There he is. He's starting against Mr. Zverb, which is always a hard name to pronounce. We're starting with English, a symmetrical position. Levy likes playing these b3 kind of positions, so I think he's going to play b3, bishop b2, something like that. I can still hear him. You can't hear him. Everyone can still join this. There are a lot of prizes to win, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to join. Quebec rechecked. Yeah, I have it open again, Spaceman. I had it closed for my game, but I don't know. So he's going for this slow English 4-knight variation with the idea of I'm just going to play bishop b2, castle short, and play something like d4. I cannot draw arrows, unfortunately. So you just have to believe me when I say he does. There are a lot of moves. You can even play d4. After a trade-off, you get d5. And we're going to get into some sort of Grunfeld position, as is happening right now. I'm expecting d5 for bishop g7. Yeah, this is a Grunfeld. So kind of funny how this all transpires. He's going to go for it. He's going to take the isolated pawn on d4. However, he's going to get ahead of a development. You cannot take on c3. Well, you can take on c3, but it's not that good because you're going to get connected pawns in the center, and white has a lot of center control. After this, he's just going to castle, and black is just, black is going to try his efforts to stop that pawn on d4 and really look into it. Now, what does he have? Well, he has the obvious e6 move, trying to pin something on d5 does not work, because after trading off, we both have an isolated pawn, and white is actually more ahead in development. He is already castled, and black still needs to play bishop g7 first before he can castle, which is actually a funny change of circumstances, but it is the way it is right now. So he's going to play knight b6. Bishop b3 is something most typical in these kind of positions. You're going to use for dark squares, light squares. You don't want him to have bishop e6 or anything. This bishop on e6 is kind of stuck now. I'm going to see something like b3 and castle short. So now I have more time to talk with you guys. How's everyone doing? You just drew someone 800 points lower rated, or at least you didn't lose. So that's, at least you got that going for you, don't you? At least you got that going for you, buddy. How's everyone doing? Chesswind, Spaceman, Mr. Fire. I see Sedomini. I see Mubat. Mubat. He's always there around my streams as well, chat. Mubat is the champ we do not deserve. You're just chilling? That's the life, man. We're still going to go on for 58 minutes. Everybody can still join, ladies and gentlemen. Just exclamation point tournament. And let's get it going. You're leading in the tournament, Max? Dude, you're a beast. You are the beast from the east. Actually, you're not, are you? It seems like Shaq Basto is also doing it quite well. Hey, Cashmanka, let's go, buddy. All right, so we did see bishop b3. We're going to see a bishop g7. The white pawn is now a little bit under some pressure. So there are 3 moves here. You can castle short, you can play bishop b3, or you can play d5. D5 is something I like in these positions because your white bishop, let's go bishop is now supporting that. Just castling is also fine. He cannot really take. Let's say he takes with, I don't know, knight takes e5, which will be a huge blunder because after taking everything, bishop takes d4. You have something like queen e2 trying to look at b5. Again, you cannot see my lines, so it's kind of, I'm pulling it out for you. You guys have no idea what I'm doing. And now, let's say I'm expecting a castle or a d5 here. One of the things. That's the Fischer bishop. Aye, my man. Oh, bishop e3, got a castle. We're going to see in h3 you don't want that bishop here on g4. And there's a lot to say about what black wants in this position. Oh, he's also drawing the same arrows that I am. That's pretty funny. Good man. Good draw airing man. Actually, the rapid games are slower, so we can really... But it's a real FFV experiment. Did you know it? He's my bread and butter. Is my bread and butter. He's some kind of god. What a god. If you were Bigfoot, if you were a sub of mine, you could spam the what a god emote, which is perfectly fine for these scenarios. Knight a5, I like a lot. White is a little bit... Those pieces are a little bit disorientated. Where do you want to place it? You want to go castle, you're going to lose b3. You can't really take with the queen because you have to defend d4, in my opinion. Let's say knight takes, queen takes. You have some bishop e6 moves he's going to develop early, which is actually kind of the moves you want to play. So, yeah, I see bishop e6, and I think black is actually doing quite well structurally. He has everything that he wants. He has the bishop pair. There's a pawn on d4, which is isolated. Why is Levy not saying anything? Well, it's Sitzgar because he's playing, so he's not... he muted the stream so he cannot hear the commentating. And we're just looking at this game right now. Oh, Mr. Gotham, who used to be Crew 64. There we go, queen to b4. Queen b4 looks very nice. So what's black want here? Like, he wants something on d4. So you can play over like rook c8. So you can play somewhere like queen d7. You can even push a knight back to d5, which I actually like the most. However, you're going to lose b7 then. Well, if he takes, let's say knight d5, queen takes b7, rook b8, and you're going to lose the pawn on b2. So that's not really a thing we have. Oofty daisy. What are we going to do, ladies and gentlemen? What is he going to do here, black? Black is the time issue is still the same. We have still the same going on. We still have the same coming along. And it seems like white is actually doing perfectly fine here, however. I like black more for two reasons. White has an isolated pawn in the center, and black has the bishop pair. But how do you really, take advantage of that? How do you really facilitate the pieces that you have and put us on queen d7? I like getting ready for this knight d5 push, getting ready to get the rook in. This looks very nice. Knight a5. Oh, pawn a5. Yeah, pawn a5 was definitely a move I also considered. However, it kind of weakens your structure a little bit too much, I would say. So I wouldn't really... Like, black is a very nice pawn structure. You don't want to mess it up too fast now. You like green? Well, that's because you're jealous, Spaceman. You were jelly belly. So now, White is thinking, what am I going to do? How can I improve this position? He's thinking about somewhere like rook c1. He's thinking... what to do? Knight e5. So the first thing you'd look at is, can I just take this knight? He's attacking you. The first thing you should look at, you shouldn't panic. You should think like, can I take this knight? I wouldn't take the knight. I think your bishop is way stronger than the knight on e5. So you just have to move your queen. And where would you move the queen is actually kind of interesting because you don't know. Some prior moves are c7 or d6 or c8. If you put it on the c rank, we're going to get rook a1. Rook a1 to c1. So I think queen d6 is the best one. Or queen d8. Queen d8 is also actually a fine move. We're tearing it. However, White's now going to play rook c1. And he's slowly gaining some. He's dancing now. He's feeling the groove. He's feeling like he's doing it good. Rook c1 is definitely an idea. I think rook c1 is something that we are going to see unfolding in this position. All right, we're gonna have rook e1. It's very, he's taking his time. The rook can be on c1 or on d1. Both of them can be played. He's probably thinking about something like queen b5, doing it as well, just consolidating this position even more. Rook b8. It gets some weaknesses. Queen a5 now also attacks a7, which is kind of nasty. But I think White will just play something like rook c1 or rook d1. Further improving the position. The queen is a little bit weirdly placed for White, I must say. Like very strong looking at e7. a7 is weak, but he's... Okay, now he has some more room with the knight out. So what is Black going to do? Beats me. I think White is very slowly improving his position, very nicely, without hitting his pawn structure. Yeah, the queen's going back to d2. He's probably going to take on e3 to get the incredible bishop pair. b6. Ooh, knight c6. Huge blunder, chat. b6 is a huge blunder. Knight c6, and this is a win for White. see how white just slowly but surely opening up, started for the attack. And he's flexing right now. He's flexing, as he should. He's going to take on b8. And now it's just the easy way. He's dabbing. Even the dabs are coming in. Look at that. What a talent. Bishop h6 is something I will play here. Just to make sure to get those things traded off. He doesn't want it, because then I can just take this bishop very kindly, even though it's very strong. And we're just going to see a clean, smooth victory here, ladies and gentlemen. Bishop h6, as I mentioned, the straight is off. He cannot take, obviously, take, and then knight g5, and you have mating threats on a7, which are very nasty to come at. Very nasty to come by. Dab city. Poggers, chat. Absolutely poggers. Which we should have doing for these kind of positions. So I like where this is going. Knight g5 even, you know. Let's go knight g5. Let's look at this e6 bishop. He's got to get it. White is now unfolding. He's now getting a very, very nice position. Everything screams knight g5 here. Look at the bishop. Where's the bishop going? He's going to f5. It's knight c3. He's playing a little bit better. Not just trade fast. Yeah, all you need to do is trade. I mean, I like knight c3. It's because he wants to support that d5 pawn. So knight g5, even though a little bit more aggressive, which is more suited by style. If you want to be a top player like Levy, you're just going to play knight c3. You defend. You attack the knight, so you're trying to force trade. And if he takes, you can play attack with the pawn, and you have a very nice center. I do like how Black played bishop h8. Not trading off the bishop was the correct move. However, he needs to do something. Knight c7. He doesn't want to trade it off, which seems kind of interesting. And now it's about, can I push d5? Can I push the d5 just yet? So how are we going to improve the position? Well, oh, no, never mind. Apparently he can push d5. Because after the takes, we're going to trade everything off and get a rook on c7. Seems kind of, so he's actually sacrificing a pawn here for the greater good. Sacrificing a pawn here for the greater good. He's going to play probably rook d1. It's pinned. After e6, queen f4 comes, where you can play rook c7. It's a dark square massacre, as they would like to say it. Rook takes c7, an idea? Not here. Not here. But I do like the fact that if you play rook d1, rook e d1, and he plays e6, you have queen f4. So visualize it, chat, where you support rook c7 ideas. I really like that. Or just simply bishop f4, trying to play rook c7. You want to play rook c7. That's the main goal. That's why you play this. You play this with the idea that I want to play rook c7. How am I going to support it? Am I going to support with queen f4 or bishop f4? That's the thing we're looking at. How's my hair? Dude. I guess to talk to me about my hair. I don't have OBS up. Usually I look at OBS. I don't have that now. Okay. So bishop g5. f6 kind of weakens the position. It's not something I'm going to order food while we do this, ladies and gentlemen. Hair looks terrific. You look terrific. Spearmint. You beast from the east. Let's get some frikandellen, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way. So bishop g5, as I said, f6 looks kind of nasty. f6 looks kind of nasty. Because the problem with f6, if you play bishop f4, he plays e5. Now you can pin that bishop on d5 with something like rook d1. Which is very, very nice. Yeah, s6. I'm going to say bishop f4, e5, and then rook d1. And this is all she wrote, GG, in that kind of stuff. Also, look at your dark square bishop being stuck now. He's stuck, chat. The poor lad is all stuck. All he wants for Christmas is you. Oh, that's something else, right? Let me look around. Ah, here we go, baby. All I want for Christmas is bishop h4. Also works. It's so easy because when you're not playing the game and you're commentating and you're like talk about loud, it's actually easier. Queen b4 could be a good idea. Could also be an idea. Queen b4 is definitely an idea here. I think black's only option here is to go bishop g7, so he can go bishop f8 to defend that e7 pawn. Funny enough, and he's playing this very strong for 1500. He's actually playing this very strong. Hey, what is up? Photo chess. How you doing, man? Maria Emilianova. We did our stream yesterday. We're gonna stream again soon, right? I'm gonna say next Monday. I'm just throwing out a date. Next Monday we're streaming again. Done. Everybody make sure to follow Photo Chess. She will be a new streamer around the block. More competition for Dutchies like me. For Dutch streamers like me. Okay, I'm gonna put in the codes. And it is, well, they're actually here very fast, so I don't want to order just yet. And the very next day you gave it away. Or play chess? Yes. Oh, we can do it on Monday. I was not joking around. Let's do it on Monday. And yeah, so black is now with the interesting position. A3 because he doesn't want to lose the ball. He's playing very strong here. Very strongly. He doesn't put everything in. Sosya. Uncle Sosya. What does black play here? I like queen b7. Queen b7 with the idea is let's go for g2. You know, you got to make something out of your position. You can move your queen while it is. And you can do that right now. Something like queen b7 would be interesting. Teach us guitar. I can teach you how to boogie. Maybe throw in some twerks. I'll be a terrible student. I know. I've been telling you, but you're being. You're so obstinate sometimes. So obstinate. So this position definitely isn't conflated. It's actually very easy. It's now up to white to really, contrive on what to do and where to go. Probably tons of cheaters out there. Copper. This is the worst place to cheat. There are cheat detections everywhere. We're commentating on it. We see it. We report people. If you cheat in this tournament, you're going out pretty fast. Going out very fast. US is frozen over. It's like Soviet. So like I said, we're going to have this very, very nice look at h5. Such a dirty move. It doesn't do anything. It completes 0. Bishop g3 is now coming. And oh, hold on. Bishop g3, bishop h6, which is kind of nasty, ladies and gentlemen. Not going to lie. Yeah, bishop h6 here. I think white is forced to play either f4 or bishop h4. And we're going to see a trade there. Funny enough. This position isn't that easy yet. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy, chat. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, we're gonna wait 10 minutes before doing that. Give me 2 times. Don't be a little. How do I say that? Don't be that person. Don't be that troll. Be nice. Speak Leffy. Now he's playing a game right now, so he's got everything muted. He's got everything muted at the moment. Go continue. We talk. Okay, and there it is. Rook c7, and this is completely over, chat. Completely over. The rook's now gobble up the a7 pawn. He's gonna have to play queen e6, or he's gonna lose d5 as well. It's just disgusting. Disgusting. In so many ways. Yeah, queen e6. And why is just slowly crushing his opponent? Queen c3, looking at a 6 pawn. He could have taken a7, but he's just taking the slow route. He's taking the slow route, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't really care. Doesn't really matter. Rook is now coming in. Now this bishop is a little bit tricky. You could just take on a7, playing it easy. Yeah, just take e7. Do it easy. And, bishop e5. Ouch. What an incredibly nice move by Levy. He cannot take it, obviously, because it is pinned. Queen takes e5. You're going to lose the queen. And there's nothing you can do here. And black can resign here. We're going to see some waves. See you later, buddy. And very nicely done by the champ, Levy Rosman. Congratulations, dude. He's going to unmute himself shortly, and we can give 2,222. Look at that. There you go. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, that was a
very nice game.
It was a pretty bad game, but I mean,
your opening was interesting.
Was suspect, but
I think after Queen B3, Bishop E6, Black is actually.
Well, Black is definitely better there. I mean, at least equal. I don't know what I did wrong actually. Maybe H3 is too slow. That's why I don't play E4. Yeah. That transposed to an E4 game pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, I think you that ending, that finish, Bishop E5. Oof. Oof.
Let's see.
That was very nice. A very nice game.
Yeah, I don't know. Something suspicious here. Maybe Bishop C4 is a bad move. Whatever. That's why we play, so you guys can beat us. Oh, wait. Let me put the standings on the board. So I guess we can... I mean, I can either play again, because you played... Well, I guess you played twice, because...
yeah, because then he destroyed... Bleached by private areas. Yeah, exactly.
That was that was a... But then you bounce back. Well, we can just look at some games. What's going on?
We can look at some games. Give the people some love. We have 97 plays in here. Can we get to 100? I think we can. We still have 40 minutes to go. I already have my order for food ready. So you don't have to remind me at 8. You just have to press this button. And I will do that in like, let's say 20 minutes. Because the food delivery is in 20 minutes.
Chess Guy's got an insane game. Looking at Chess
Guy?
Yeah, Chess Guy versus Tudorak.
Where is my friend Chess Guy? Let's see. Dude, I cannot find him.
Yeah, Chess Guy 10-12.
Like what place is he?
Second.
Second?
Yeah, he's in second.
Oh wow. And he's having an intense game. Where Black is just taking a knight on d6. What am I missing? What am... Is he just a full piece down?
No, because I think the plan is knight a2 and then like bishop c5, or maybe Chess Guy just blundered a piece, but bishop c5.
Bishop c5, okay, queen f6.
And then... I don't have an answer for you. Knight bishop c5 looked nice, but queen f6, yeah.
Ouch.
Knight
Ouch.
b4
Knight
and
is,
try to trap the... I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just the messenger, you know, like don't...
I know. I would play something like rook e8, you know, get that rook out of there, get him out of the pin and start running.
Yeah, it's not...
Put on the boogie shoes.
It's not pretty. Or b8.
It's definitely not pretty. But it's the way it is. Some things will never change.
Oh, but he doesn't...
Knight takes a4. And...
Black just gave a pawn, I guess?
Yeah, give him a pawn. He's a nice man.
Be right back. I'm going to use the restroom.
Alright, cool. I got this one. So knight c3. We are on the defense. And... rook a5 is something you can play, or something that you can do. Yeah, rook a5 seems like a very nice move, fairly good, and it seems like we're just scrolling through. We're just having a good time. Rook b2 here is something to look at. I'm not quite sure what Skylar's going to play. It's Skylar. He's actually going for his NM title, as I know. So he's playing this very well. But White is just, he's just down a full piece. He's got a pawn for it, though. He won the pawn back on a4, which is something we did not want to. And as is all. So this is good. This is actually good. He needs to get rid of this bishop. The bishop on c5 is now under attack. The bishop on c5 is now doing. It's a little bit of a pinpoint thing here. Black needs to point his dark square bishop though. He's doing nothing. That's true. But h6, bishop h6 is actually very nice to develop that bishop. And he will just bulldoze through that. Yeah, bishop e3 is going to stop that. What does black want to do now? He's going to try to slowly improve his position. Maybe something like rook b2 is something he can play. And he's just a full pawn up. The only thing white has is this nice pawn on d5, defending everything. At least he has a very nice passed pawn. However, he's just going to block it. Maybe he's going to play knight c8, d6. Make sure that pawn is blocked and there's nothing white can do. So it's an interesting position.
I think definitely, well, anytime you have an extra piece, it's good. But maybe Chess Guy can use some. All right, taking a look here. So 41 points for this guy, 11 out of 11. Who is this, and why are we not paying maximum attention to him?
That's the one who beat Elm in the first round, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, Shakhriyar.
Shakhriyar, he's the... Where is Elm? I think he gave up. I don't see him in the standings anymore.
That was the end. He had enough.
That was the end, exactly.
Yeah, he beat Elm, but after that he's had a pretty quick run. I mean, he beat some thousands. He beat 1200. He beat 1000, 900, 900. He beat a 16. Yeah, so it's not like a question of any sort of there's no foul play or anything like that. It's just the guy.
Just having a very nice pairing. He played the Swiss Gambit very well, even though he won the first game.
He's just undefeated. Yeah,
that's the way you could put it.
It's winning.
I don't know. This game seems like it's go. We'll keep an eye on the game separately, but I'd like to see other games as well and see where they are going, because this just looks like black should be able to win this one pretty easy.
I jumped to Shakhriyar's game. He's up he's down in exchange actually.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was up a piece. I've just been so used to seeing him in winning positions that I was truly baffled as to the fact that he could ever get a losing position.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be aware that Diesel is actually almost a 2100 in his national rating. So he's definitely not something to underestimate. It's definitely not looking.
Yeah,
that's definitely something that you shouldn't do.
Knight is in on d3.
Can just play move the rook and then queen takes and threaten mate on h7.
Yeah, I mean, wait, what was the point of knight d3? This looks.
I don't know. He's just maybe he saw some ghosts.
So
I don't know.
Rook takes d3. This just looks pretty bad.
Maybe rook f5. Try to get the d5 pawn. There's something we can do over here.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I have no idea why he played knight d3. I'm just backing up. What?
Sure. I'm not sure if he has something here. I'm also keeping a close eye on Chess Guy, who's actually improved his position where I would say he's winning. So I'm not sure how that happened.
What? Chess Guy's winning?
Yeah, I'm looking at his game.
Oh, this is what's
happening over there?
I mean, that shouldn't have happened.
I think he coordinated his bishop. I mean, what is his bishop on h6 doing right now? What is that doing? He got it there after pushing f4. I don't know what happened.
So bishop c6.
Yeah, it's kind of forced. Well, you cannot take. You cannot take because the queen is undefended on d2.
I guess. Well, yeah, this bishop on f2 is the MVP. I mean, if white didn't have a dark squared bishop, that would be the absolute end of everything. Because I mean, the stability would be completely undermined. Queen c5 check would be possible, and I mean the whole queen side would. Wow, goodness me.
Did he just drop? Well, what's going on now?
It's getting feisty. Everybody, put on your helmets.
Knight takes c6, rook takes b5.
Okay, but he's still down a piece.
He's still down a piece.
So that was
after everything is traded.
That was beautiful and flashy. It's like doing a capoeira kick in an MMA fight. It's not gonna get you anywhere. You're just gonna spin around a lot. There was some movie. There was like a fighting movie where it might have been in Deadpool, where the guy jumps up to him. he does a bunch of crazy spinning moves, but he never hits him. And then like Deadpool just punches him once in the face, and like that's it.
Yeah.
Like there's all these super fancy spins around, flip, cartwheel, and it's just like he's just
double, triple salto. You just punch him once.
And so that's kind of what happened in this game. Like
it was actually the old Spider-Man game had a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a fake alien. I forgot what his name was. But then you saw his like the boss fight. Like you saw him in the story. He was like this big alien. You saw the health bars going up like 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and you really were expecting a fight, and you just punched him once and he was dead, which was kind of funny. Never remember.
Rookie 6 here, maybe Rookie 6. Oh, Rookie 6 and Bishop B6. Oh. Look at this beautiful coordination. So the queen has to stick around and keep an eye on the knight, but so after the queen goes here, you play this move.
Okay, so you go back. Oof. Wait, Levy.
Mm-hmm.
Knight G5. Knight G5 attacking the rook and hitting F3, which is undefended.
He's never playing that move. He's never playing that move, ever. No way. Also, doesn't Bishop takes D8 still work?
I'm sure it still works, but don't you just take the queen then and you trade them off? You win a pawn that way, don't you? Oh no, you're gonna lose F6 then.
You're gonna lose F6. It looks very nice. I don't
know. It's too complicated. Too complicated for me.
Yo, Bishop B. Yeah, this is beautiful coordination. I told you this dark squared bishop for white is just an absolute unit. I mean, just putting in the work, goes to the gym, eats well, sleeps early, drinks protein. I mean,
drinks a lot of water.
This guy is just.
He's the hero we don't deserve, but the hero that we have.
Oh, we deserve him. That dark squared bishop in the King's Indian is such a good anti-attacking piece as well. Usually black goes for G5, right? H5, but bishop hangs out on F2.
I mean, what is black's dark squared bishop? Queen D7, and now you just lose the piece on F6. Yeah. And what are you down then? You're down a pawn, right? Yeah. Wow. How does he do this? Incredibly display of tactical insights by chess guy. Now Knight G5. Hold on. He found it.
Yeah, now it's really...
And now it's actually very good. Oh my god, dude.
Well, I guess after Bishop G7, there was nothing he could have done. Oh man, this is a problem now for white, because Knight F3 is obviously a tremendous threat, but Knight E6 wins a full rook now.
Yep.
So he has to move the queen. Queen A2? Is that insane?
Yes, but it might be the best one, because at the Queen A2, if you take, you can't even play Queen E7 because you don't have Bishop C5. I was getting a little bit too excited.
Also maybe like Queen D3, just to always have some central presence. Yeah, but Knight G5 is a killer move. Yikes.
Big yikes. I think Queen D3 or Queen A2. I like Queen E2 a lot, actually. But then he's just gonna take on F3, right? G2. What?
What's the plan?
What?
Why wouldn't you put the queen on A2? I'm very confused.
That's the most passive.
Wow.
What? This is like my opponent.
I think this is pretty much an admission that your position is bad. Like, I think he's just basically saying, yeah, I get it. All right, shut up. Like, I know I'm worse.
I think he's trying to stalemate himself. Man, what a... Now get the bishop in. Let's go bishop F8, bishop C5.
This is a very, very crazy game. I mean, it was obviously better for black for some time. White made it complicated, and then white made it complicated for himself.
Yep. Bishop F8.
Bishop F6 also. Bishop F6, bishop H4.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But this is also, yeah.
This also works. Yeah, because maybe he thought if we go Queen H3, Queen H3, Queen G2, Queen H3, Queen G2, I'll hold my position. Maybe that was his thought process. However, we never got to see that point, have we? H4 incoming. I don't know. There's not much he can do. This is a resignable position. Yeah, 25 more minutes. We have 99 players. We need one more players, and we get the triple digits.
You'll get us up to 100, y'all. For real?
Yeah.
Come on now.
What we live for.
3-year diamond membership? Y'all just watching? Y'all not playing?
No, right?
You know, it's like going to a club, right, and not dancing. That's fine. That's a personal choice. But like that's as if they offer you 3 years of free drinks.
Yeah.
Okay, if you dance, and you have to dance and like win a dance contest. But worst comes to worst, you just you dance for a bit and you don't win anything, but you have fun. Fun at the end of the day. That's what we're.
I know, and we're all dance lovers in this stream. We all love to dance, so why wouldn't you dance? It's time to boogie.
Oh wait, we have 104 players.
Oh, oops.
I don't know if we jumped up 5 just now or.
That would be funny. That's the way I wanted to see it, ladies and gentlemen. There we have the triple digits. The dance party is on.
Right, Danny. See, Danny saying best analysis. It's a good way of putting it. Everyone's like, I'm good. I don't like 10-2. 10-2 is bad for my Queen F. Oh wait, no. I thought Queen F1 Rook B1. Yeah, he's trying to bait like Rook B1 or something, but you can't even play Rook B1. Too.
But he'd never do that. Hey, Photo Chess joined.
Is that Maria?
That is Maria. Maria's coming in hot as well. Maria
might not win the dance competition because she only has 24 minutes and everyone else had 120, but she can get in some good moves. And
exactly. Impress the judges.
Look, at the end of the day, chess and dancing are identical. Completely identical. There is no difference. How you went
from equal to identical.
They are the same thing, okay? Dance and chess. Exactly. Yeah.
You have different openings. I'm going to open with the tango. I'm taking with the waltz. I'm going to open with the, I don't know, the Numa dance.
Oh, that's such a legendary dance.
Such a legendary dance.
I think recently Numa celebrated 10 years on the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It just made me think
how old you are.
Right. Anyone can say that. I think the earliest you can start saying I feel old is when you enter your second decade. That's when you start. It's like, man, 2 decades? Really? Oof.
Been along for so long. But do you know what makes you feel young again?
Dancing?
Buddy? Dancing, baby. So everybody join this dance party.
Yeah,
we're getting more and more followers. More and more players. Look at that.
Up to 105.
This is the hype we live for. I still don't know how White's going to... I don't understand the last King G7 move. Oh, yes, Bishop C4 check. Obviously. It's not that easy for Black to... I mean, he's crushing, but how do you punch through here?
You just do it.
Just do it?
Don't let the second rank is obviously pretty solid. I mean, you can just go for the trade of... Again, the dark squared bishop.
Yeah.
The person who has prevented... Well, I don't know if person... I mean, wait, hold on. Was Black's last move Bishop E7? For example, just go Queen A3 and Bishop C5. I mean, what does Black do? What is Black doing? Why is
absolutely nothing? At the
he's going for it just in a I don't.
In a little bit longer way.
Okay, bold prediction: White wins this game.
Okay, if White wins this game, I'll gift you a sub in your channel. If Black wins this game, you have to gift a sub in my channel.
Wow. Wait, if Black wins?
Yeah.
No, but I mean we're starting this wager slightly. What if it's a draw?
Well then I don't know, you also win if it's a draw.
Okay.
Well, you go for it.
This is looking a little bit more and more suspicious by the move here.
Let's go, Durash.
What is Black do? Well, I guess it's still winning.
I don't know what Black is doing. He's gonna win.
No, King H5. I mean, it's fine now.
There you go, buddy.
No, the defensive fortress was if White had put a bishop on G4, it would have been pretty challenging.
That would have been very challenging. I agree.
But now it's going. No, now King H5 just.
No, King H5.
Okay.
Okay. You can take insurance. Just like in poker, you can take insurance. And
Rook F2? Rook F2 is winning, obviously.
On the spot, baby. Because you got to get into a Zug swing.
Yes.
Bishop G2, King H5.
Ouch.
And we have the Zug swing of the Zug swings, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so...
Bishop H1.
Oh, it's not Zug.
Well, he's gonna play Bishop B2. Or Rook B2, Bishop G2, Rook takes G2.
I mean, he just sack, right? He could just sacrifice.
Just sacrifice. Just take the damn bishop. That's what I'm saying.
This is so funny.
You can just take the bishop here, right?
Well, you could also just do that, yeah.
And there we go.
King takes h4. It's he's hobbling to the finish here, but it looks like he can.
Don't get stalemated. Don't get stalemated.
Yeah.
You never know, ladies and gentlemen.
Bishop
This might still turn into a stalemate.
Bishop h1, so g4 takes.
Oh man, I can see rook a2 check, bishop g2, and then the hide himself on h1 with the king, and then it will be a draw that way. That would be pretty fun.
I mean, he could just play rook takes bishop, like at any point.
f3, king f2, rook takes a1. Oh, it's not.
No, it's no, because of.
Bottom was a stalemate. Oh,
yeah.
I was getting hyped there.
That's very funny. What's going on here? Oh, that's unfortunate. And it's mate no matter what now, because if you play king h1, it's mate. King h3, it's mate. If you play bishop f3.
What about bishop g2?
Bishop g2, rook a2, king h1, the last hope. Oh, okay.
The last attempt. Oh. No, this is not a stalemate.
What? He didn't queen!
Good effort.
Why didn't he queen?
I don't know, dude.
Alright.
There we go. One more resignation. GG. My man pulled through. My man from Romania? Is it Romania? Yeah,
wait,
Romania.
Shakhriyar won that game. Now he's playing again. He's playing, actually, he might already be winning. Because of
we have 19 minutes
ridiculous
left.
bishop on h4 is just too powerful.
I agree.
Queen c1, nice move. He also probably just had queen f4, which won.
Yeah, queen f4 I was looking at. It was...
At least he's not cheating.
Arithmetic.
At least he's not cheating, right?
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
It's a good thing.
I think Danny is cheating. The way he beat me, it's kind of suspicious. Might have to report that.
Who what? Who are we reporting for what? I'm always down for a good report.
Danny. The way he beat me was kind of suspicious.
Oh yeah, Danny played like a computer that game. Yeah, that was no, it was a brilliant game. I mean, I saw Danny in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I don't know, whatever he ate this morning.
Dude, he destroyed me. Very nice.
Danny, very nuanced move, Danny. Bishop b5, not quite taking on a6, but bishop b5, top engine choice.
Thank you for kicking me while I'm down, Danny.
You're not down, you just like your career high in FIDE now, right?
That's right, dude. Maybe get harder. We're gonna get there, dude.
So,
you know, in 20 years when I'm at my peak and Danny is deteriorating, maybe I'll get a draw out of 10 games, you know? That's my.
Danny's still always gonna be the like the older guy at the gym who can't like play fight professionally, but he trains all the young guys, and he's still. If you mess with him, he's gonna beat you up. But so here, knight d7, queen d7, bishop f6, and queen goes to h6, or that move, which hangs a knight in one move.
This is bishop takes g4.
What? What?
Bishop takes g4.
What?
I mean, what?
Man, they hired me for this. All this deep calculation, and white just hangs a piece in one move. This is our tournament leader?
This is the guy that defeated a 2900 bullet player. A 2900 bullet player. And he just throws pieces around like it's Christmas. Happy Hanukkah for you.
Oh, rook a6, but the bishop goes back. The bishop is like a boomerang. Bishop e6. It's the only move.
Even knight d6.
Oh, please don't play g5.
Even knight d6.
Please don't play g5. Please don't.
He has 3 moves: knight b6, knight d6, bishop e6.
Oh, just don't. Okay. So he plays that.
Okay.
If you played g5,
you would have lost your mind on stream.
Nah, probably. I mean, it was just completely lost. He might still play g5, by the way.
Could be. It looks very juicy here, but he's playing this very nice. Yeah, rook takes. Oh, wait, what?
No, he blundered a piece back.
Yeah, he blundered the exchange.
No, he blundered the piece back.
He's getting the pawn on c3 at least.
Well, don't give him that much credit. He might not even see that. I mean, right? It's been a game of twists and turns so far. So rook c. Oh, he doesn't see it.
Oh, you're right.
Rook goes straight down, takes the point, doesn't see it.
Well, rooks are very tricky. You don't look away more than 3 squares. That's a little bit too much to ask. So what are you gonna do in here now? I mean, I still like black.
Yeah, c3 is still hanging, by the way.
Knight c4, knight e3.
Let's count the moves that c3 is hanging. Okay, 1 move so far. 2 moves. c3 is hanging.
2 moves so far, even. Was it 2 moves?
Yeah, it's 2 moves. Because last move and this move. See, so 2 moves.
Okay.
He's not taking it this move. No way. Nope. Okay.
Oh, I actually like this move more. I actually really like this move because of knight e3.
Yeah, but free pawn? Okay, I'm glad White saw that his rook could take something. Sorry, guys, we're dropping the bar here.
White knows how to move the rook.
Okay. Hello?
Okay.
What?
Here comes the knight e3. There we go, baby. Look at my man pulling through.
Wow.
Dude, the tournament leaders there are quite sketchy today. h6.
Oh, please play the right move.
Queen takes f6.
First of all, that works.
Yeah,
Queen takes f6 is actually not a bad move at all. The problem is that if you get too fancy here,
yeah.
No, that move is fine, I think.
But you're thinking about bishop takes g6 and f7. But I don't think that works.
No, it doesn't. Wishful
It doesn't work. Unfortunate.
But yeah, had he played like king h8, then queen f4 was really annoying, and then he gets out of
Yes.
it. Oh, it's kind of a...
It's... Ay, as they would say it, ladies and gentlemen. Ay today. This is an unfortunate change in circumstances. It looks like White was... He still has 8 minutes, Levy. He has 8 minutes!
Yeah, he's playing poorly, and he's playing quickly. Generally in life, fast things are good, but there are certain exceptions. So...
And this is one of them. Unfortunate.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Will he stop? He's 12 out of 12, ladies and gentlemen. Will this be the stop of the legend? He also cannot outrun his clock. Like, it's still 13 and a half minutes in the tournament timer, and we only have 7.5 minutes for him. So the game cannot be aborted that way. Those cheeky strats cannot be unfolded.
Yeah, last time one of the players stalled out. It was really funny. You're playing a strong 500. Oh, that sounds mildly suspicious. You know, I can bench like 500. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive.
Like 500, like picograms probably, or something. Nanograms. Is nanogram a thing? What is under ounces? Pounds, ounces. What's under ounces? Is there anything under ounces?
What is under ounce?
What is smaller than an ounce? Wait, going to my other monitor. What is smaller than an ounce?
I'm going to mathisfun.com. Look at what you...
A dram?
A dram?
What? A dram. A dram.
An ounce is 30 grams. It's about a slice of a bread. Well, more do you know, Chad?
I can bench 500 slices of bread. Bring it on. Let's go. Listen, you put 500. You combine 500 pawns into a weight. I'll bench that. Let's go.
You bench that? I'll make it happen. 250 on each side. How much would that weigh? How much does a pawn weigh?
I don't know, but it's got to be the lightest. Oh, big queen c4, bishop d3, queen c3 is coming. I predict the future. Never mind. Whoa, bishop takes g6, maybe? That doesn't do anything, but it doesn't...
Bishop takes g6, king takes g6.
Oh, he resigns. So I was thinking that potentially we would see this, that we would see... Okay, but they did not even entertain me. Check here and takes, and bishop takes g6.
Wait.
What's up?
Okay, I thought black resigned. I was getting a little bit...
Oh wait, Shakhriyar lost. Yeah, it's crazy.
I was looking at how much does a pawn weigh, and they just go for pawn shops. So this is not the information I was looking for, Google. Get your act together.
All right, I'm looking at the game. I'm just here to watch, which is, I mean, honestly, a very questionable username because...
He's playing?
Yeah, he's playing, and he's lying to us about his username. So...
Oof. Don't you just hate these people?
Yeah, like, I mean, this is just despicable behavior. Also, White is... What does White do? Is this like an opening? This is an opening, I think.
What did I miss? This is the... Why he has the center, I guess.
Yeah, he's got the center. Yeah, some good central presence there, doubled pawns.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever center is.
Double pawn.
It's the beautiful center. Just.
What kind of mess is this, dude? He's just going to plan a knight on e5, and he's going to be the king of the world. He's going to castle 97, 95, and good luck. He doesn't even have the dark square bishop anymore. How are you going to get that knight out?
I don't know. Crying?
Cry me a river? You're a Justin Timberlake fan, right?
Sorry?
You're a Justin Timberlake fan.
Of course. When I got this hair dyed, people said that I looked like him. I said that's an insult to Justin. I don't know why you would...
Exactly. Well, not exactly. Why did I say exactly? Why do I do this? You're trapping me. Also, are we going to see Queen c5 and he's going to win the e3 pawn? No, he's listening. He's following my other advice. Again, the knight on e5. I do think you should castle first, or play Queen c5 to win that pawn. That's also something you can do. Somewhere in between, but just castle short here afterwards, and things should be fine. Bishop d6, bishop d7, maybe bishop g4 first. Bishop g4. Let's get a little bit excited. Yes, he's playing very well. Oh, bishop f3. Ooh, knight takes and then bishop h3. I mean, let's improve our position even further. Rook takes f3.
Rook takes f3. Yeah, black is... Well, that's a resignation. That's
a resignation.
How about chess guy? What's chess... Chess guy's up a queen. That seems like it could be a...
Suspicious? Oh.
Yeah, it could
I
be...
like the word suspicious.
What else do we have playing?
8.5 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. We have Miss Lovalova playing. Let's see how her position is real fast. She's currently in an equal position. It seems like a little bit of a weird Najdorf that's transposed.
Is there like a thing in Russian that for the repetition? Ah.
Hold on. Let me Google that. Repetition.
You're playing What? What does this mean? You cannot... What? This is not terrible. This is an interesting position.
Yeah, this is a very interesting position. You're nailing it. You're going for the...
I like how in this game, the bishops decided to not defend from far away, but are up close and hugging the knights. They're like, hey, don't leave. They're like, please don't go too far, okay? They're overprotective pieces. It's a tough position. I mean, if I had to pick, I would probably play white just because I have this active queen on g4 and I like to attack, and I'm not going to objectively look the position at all. I just like the queen on g4. But if you trade the queens, and I don't know.
There's something to be said about it. Rook f7 seems like a very good move. She's not going for the repetitia. Is that correct? You're the Russian expert.
No, that was not right. I didn't even know that was a word. What? You like?
I just went to Google Translate.
Repetition.
And it showed me a lot of words that I don't understand. A lot of characters.
Yeah. Russian is an interesting language. I'll tell you that much. I'm very lucky I learned it as a kid. If I had to learn it as an adult, I would just be like, what is this? I mean, this looks like hieroglyphs.
Yeah,
looks like
just like Hebrew.
Cave people writing on a wall or something. Like, it doesn't look real.
It's like you give a kid a color book and you just go ahead, and that's how it looks. Not being condescending to the Russian language, of course. It's just my how I see it as a foreigner. It's rough.
It's definitely... Yeah, it's повторение. Can you say that? Повторение?
Повторение.
Beautiful.
Oof. Does that mean beautiful?
No, it means repetition.
Leffy, you're повторение.
I am repetition, okay.
Yes.
I am repetition. I do this. No problem.
Anyhow, going back to the game. What is... the good thing is 6 minutes left in the tournament. So she needs to win in 6 minutes. We're not going to go for a draw. She needs to win in 6 minutes.
Is that what you were saying, the draw thing? Because she's running out of time, I guess?
No, it's just because you stated repetition at the start. I don't know why.
Oh.
Repetition is rehearsal.
Thank you.
You learn something every day.
I appreciate it. Somebody called me молодец. Молодец is like I'm not even quite sure what the translation is. It's just like a positive word. It's like good boy, like you do
Good boy.
you do good.
So,
like you're very
like
good.
a mad lad. You're a mad lad. That's for sure.
So I just got the published rating list of the norm tournament that I'm playing in February. So 6.5 points is a norm, a GM norm, and probably the scariest thing about the 10 players is the fact that Christopher Yu is playing in the tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel really bad having to knock off his full point for the norm there, but he's a terrifying talent. I mean, yesterday he beat a ton of grandmasters. It's just ridiculous how strong he is. I mean, no, nothing but respect for him. Like, talk a little trash, but that's probably the only person. All the GMs in that tournament, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
We'll take it. No.
So
we'll get him. This will be your first norm you're going for, right?
Yeah, everyone's like, how many norms do you have? I'm like, 0. They're like, why? I'm like, I haven't played for any. They're like, oh.
Yeah, I just got IM.
Everybody just calm down, all right? Deep breath. Rook d1. Yeah, well, I guess this is actually funny. Maria technically can just sit here because her time is running, but
yeah,
the timer of the tournament will run out before her time.
10 seconds before her time run out. I have to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be over there.
I'll be back in 3 minutes and 53 seconds, okay?
Let's look at the Sternium standings real quick. We haven't really looked at that.
Yeah, we're looking at
we have Sacramento still being in first. He's going to claim the fame. I'm just here to watch. Is second with 36 points, and it seems like Chess Guy is claiming that third spot. However, there are a lot of people fighting for that third spot. We actually have about 4 people who are in first spot territory. So I'm actually kind of interesting on how we unfold the situation. Knight g6 is being played. Trying to improve it, going to a4. I like it.
I liked.
However,
I ventured over to the game by MHB. He's a guy in. He's about to get mated, actually. Okay, tragic. He was on a 7-game winning streak, and now he's going to be at 0.
Ouch.
But kudos to him. Oh, he won! Sorry, he's white. He's on an 8-game winning streak. Oh, goodness me. Okay. Well,
here we go, baby.
Okay, so he's playing again. I thought, oh, that was cool of his opponent to actually finish the game.
in the chat, Maria said, "My food arrived. I have no idea what to play."
Just eat the food. Just eat the food. Pretend like the game doesn't even exist. Yeah. Eat the food.
Yeah, we're out of it.
What is the food? What is the? Is it like? Well, let's see. It's Russia. What do you get in food delivery there?
Yeah, what do you get for food delivery there?
Do you just get Russian food? Like, I'm actually... Because I went to Russia pretty recently. I've been to Russia 2 times. No, 3 times. No, 2 times. 2 times. I don't remember there being particularly many delivery options.
What is typical Russian food? Because I have a few Russians at my work.
Just eat sadness and reality. The harsh pains of reality.
You have to go out, shoot a deer, and it's minus 50. Oof. You can get whatever you want. You can get whatever you like. Exactly. How's Danny going? Is he still playing? I think he stopped after 4.5 out of 6. Someone drew him, actually. Impressive. Impressive stuff. 108 of you are here. We really appreciate you coming in clutch, coming in strong. Very nice. Obviously, very nice. My opponent sitting out the tournament in the losing position is that legal. Unfortunately, it is just playing the clock. There's not much you can do about it. Not much that can be done.
Oh, here's a nice tactic by MHB. He can play knight takes e4 and bishop takes f7, everybody on the screen. Got these f7 tactics.
Yeah, bishop takes e4.
So,
and knight
he
g5.
plays it like this. Not so great, but...
I think it both works. d5, yeah, en passant. En passant. Tell me, Levy, have you ever, when you adjust your pieces over the board, which phrase do you say? Do you say shadoob?
Yeah, I say shadoob.
Okay.
So there was a funny incident at a team tournament, and it's like, it's 4 players, amateur, not like Pro Chess League. It's like 2200 rating. And the board 1 sat down on the opposite team, and he said "Jadoob" like very audibly before the game started. And the board 2 of the opposing team went like, "Oh wow, so serious." And the guy went, "Jadoob means adjust in international play." It was just like, man, you are so uptight. My goodness. Oh, Queen H5. Well, he blundered a queen, yeah.
I think he wanted to go Queen G4, but he bounce slips.
All right.
But you love those kind of players.
Congrats, everybody.
Special congrats to Shark Masto for coming in first with 12 out of 13. Very impressive. I'm just here to watch second with 13 out of 19. MHB, 10 out of 13. Takes the lead over Just Guy, unfortunately. So he's got 34 points. And then we have a bunch under it. Very well played, everyone.
Yeah, that was very fun, everybody. Tomorrow, please make sure to tune in. We have the final 2 Battle Royales. One is starting at 6 a.m. Pacific. That's 9 a.m. Eastern. The second one will be at 12:40 Eastern. Please jadoob that into your proper time zone. It's 2 very, very powerful divisions. I mean, I don't think we're going to get anything like the first one where we had Naka, Fabi, all these incredible players. But really, really intriguing matchups all around. A fantastic commentary team, but obviously an even better highlight show. So we're signing off for this week. I saw one final question before we go, and that was, will we get standings? We absolutely will get standings, so you can kind of gauge whether you want to play every week or, or whatever it might be. But that's all for us.
Play every week. Always play every week. Don't give him that option, Levy. Play every week, each day. So don't go to sleep ever.
All right, so we're signing off, and we'll see who we are rating. We'll either send you to Gibraltar on one of the smaller chess channels. I know Hammer's streaming later. He's taking the raid from Gibraltar. So take care, everybody. See you next week on this show, and see you tomorrow for the general Pro Chess League commentary.
Excellent. Have a good night, everyone.